I remember. Sorry.
There we go.
Okay, I think that's working now.
Oh,
All right,
nearly
what's up,
100
chat? Can
people
you guys
watching.
hear
Let's
me?
go.
Can you guys hear me okay? Let me know, chat. I think my mic is working good. So, welcome to the very first live roundtable. So, this is pretty exciting. We haven't done this before, so keep that in mind as we go through here. Bear with me. Be patient. We're gonna try and get this thing going and make sure that it's fun, entertaining for you guys. And so we got a lot of topics planned to talk about. So first, I wanted to kind of introduce everybody. So we've got Lankman Dan. He's new to the roundtable. Haven't had him on before. If you guys like challenges and different things as it relates to GTA Online, he's one to watch. We've got Rob Morris, host of Vinewood Public Access, screenwriter, TV producer, and GTA super fan. We've got Will Mac Daddy. You guys see him popping up in your feeds all the time, I'm sure, if you guys are following GTA 6 content. He's keeping you up to date on all the latest. Mr. Bogan Bav, permanent resident of the GTA 6 roundtable. And then, of course, Snarko, which we know from his RP and sim-focused creator that has been recently doing more GTA Online stuff with different creators like Bucketchers and stuff like that. So that's everybody. So we're going to get right into the news. I really had some other stuff planned to kind of talk to these guys about. We were originally going to talk about some of the headlines that have developed over the last couple of months, mainly the last couple of weeks. Some of the things like the dialogue leaks and all that stuff. But obviously, it's a pretty big news day. We got hit with a major report this morning that Rockstar was once again hacked. So I figured we would start off there. I don't really have any planned questions here, but I found it pretty interesting that they are still dealing with this problem. And I was watching MCT stream earlier today, and his opinion on the whole thing was, well, you know, it's taking you guys forever to release the game, so this stuff is kind of bound to happen. And I'm kind of with him on that. What do you guys think?
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's expected as we get closer to launch, you know, and then people will probably put a higher ransom price on it. I don't know. It's just things are kind of heating up, you know?
It both makes sense, but it sucks. Like, I think it's just worth mentioning. Like, yeah, it's like, I've heard a lot of this already. I made a video about this morning because I saw this at like 6 a.m. my time. I'm on the West Coast. I woke up to this terrible news. And as far as I'm concerned, it sucks. It's a really difficult situation. And I think anyone who relishes this happening, it's like you're missing the forest for the trees a little bit. It's not good news.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate. You know, anytime you have a company that is being hacked, especially if there's like personal information that we thought maybe might be a problem, but it doesn't look like that's necessarily the case. It's more like Rockstar's financials. And I did see something about, maybe you guys saw this too, but I was reading through that, and it looked like there was some stuff about maybe actors like contracts. What do you guys think the fallout is? I guess we can kind of go one by one here. Lank, do you have an opinion on you know, the fallout on that? If like, you know, let's say for example, we find out like, you know, a handful of actors' names and how much they were paid and all that stuff. Do you think that affects anything really, or is it just like, you know, sensitive information they don't want out?
I think there's two real sides to it. I think there's the side that the community cares about, and then the side that more Rockstar cares about. I think for the most part, when it comes to leaks, the things that we don't want to see are spoilers for the most part. Like, I don't want to see if Michael returns or Franklin returns, or if we get a big A-list celebrity in the game somewhere. So if we do get contracts of voice actors, the spoiler of that will be like the thing I'm most concerned about seeing. I don't want to know, basically. When it comes to like how much people are being paid or other financial information, personally, it doesn't bother me a huge amount. Obviously, that's the stuff that Rockstar more wants to keep under the wraps, because whenever money gets talked about in business, someone's going to have something to say about it, whether someone's being overpaid, underpaid, whatnot. But for me, I think like the silver lining of this hack compared to like the big one a few years ago is that it doesn't seem like we're getting massive story or gameplay leaks, which is the good thing. Obviously for Rockstar as a company, still terrible that they're letting hacks happen. And if it's happening now, I guess the bad thing is who's to say it's not going to happen again another few months before the game comes out, and we're just going to get more stuff leaked, and we're going to have, you know, the game sort of spoiled before we even get there, which is the big worry in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's an interesting point that you brought up. Like, I didn't even consider the fact that if they had like some big surprises planned with like, you know, previous characters from other games, like that could be really detrimental to whatever they had planned, you know, whether that was like at launch or DLC down the road, because they very well could be already working on like the first DLC at this point, you know, for
exactly.
for
Like
whatever.
I've always thought that a really cool thing to bring back if they wanted to was Franklin's celebrity solutions agency playing a big part with like the Dre contract and GTA Online, having that come back as a sort of DLC, maybe not Franklin himself, but maybe Amani or just the general company. If you have like Amani's voice act on the payroll, that sort of leaks a really big thing they could be planning. So yeah, that would suck to see, but who knows?
Yeah.
Well, I guess like I said, it was expected. You know, I guess they'll do their best to keep it quiet, but I'm sure they have their back end team that's working, you know, to keep everything as secure as possible. So
yeah, well, and they responded too, which was interesting. And guys, by the way, I am paying attention to the comments. We're gonna try to maybe include some comments and questions and all that during the live stream. Bear with us. This is the first time we've ever done this live. So the main thing is not keeping these guys for more than a couple of hours. I don't want to like drag some of these guys are like getting into their later evenings and all that stuff. So, but I do want to mention something that Generic Jerry actually just said in the comments. He said Rockstar responded and they said that the leaks have nothing to do with the game and players' information. That's why they aren't bothered about it. You know, so if that is genuinely true, then I guess it's not that big of a deal. But I could also see them maybe trying to save face a little bit.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, is that not Rockstar putting out fires? Like, is there more sensitive information they might actually be leaking? Because if they make it a bigger deal to the public, then the ransomers can probably ask for more money.
Yeah, that's exactly true. So I was wondering, and I asked you guys this in the chat before we started, and I think Rob answered. But do you guys think there's any world in which Rockstar pays these guys?
No chance in hell.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too. I mean, especially because it's not like they got him by the balls. It doesn't sound like it's anything super serious. But even if it was, I mean.
Yeah, just to jump in on that and the previous point too. First of all, I agree with everything that everybody said so far. I think that that's legit. We don't have any proof of anything. We have a screenshot of a threat that was sent out publicly. We don't have any documentation that says we have exactly these things. We don't know for sure that any of this is confirmed, other than Rockstar saying, yeah, they got some stuff and we don't care. And to your point, I think if it was nothing, I mean, I'm sorry, let me say that backwards. If it were huge and they really were about to have their ass shown, they wouldn't say anything. They would not be out here confirming the leak or saying it's no big deal. They would have their mouth shut. They'd be trying to put the fire out in the dark. I think there's no chance that this is like gigantic. And I also, just to put a little icing on that last point of, do you think they pay it? No, because first of all, if you pay it, how do you prove that they don't just ask for money again in the summer or in the fall? You could just keep saying, hey, we'll release it again. Pay us one more time. And you're also creating an entire economy of people who are like, oh, wow, I guess there's money to be made hacking into Rockstar now. And it becomes a snowball problem.
It at all. You know, they're going to set the tone, you know, like they usually do, and not pay it. Yeah.
Well, and I fully expect Rockstar to come out on top at the end of this. I mean, just look at what happened to Arian Kurtaj. You know, he's locked up in a mental institution somewhere in the UK right now. So, I mean, or at least he was. So, you know, I don't know, man. They don't typically lose stuff like this. But yeah, I don't know. I thought that was interesting. Bav, Will, do you guys have anything you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, I'll say, is it too early to get into the tinfoil hat of this possibly being Rockstar themselves? Is that like, is it too soon for that? Oh, there we go. There we go.
Got it ready.
Yeah, I know VPA brought it up. I saw MCT was talking about it as well. I mean, is that too crazy? Is that too crazy to assume that that's something that they might? I mean, they did say it's a Tuesday. That's when their deadline is. Tuesday's kind of the Rockstar news day.
I don't know, man.
It's the beginning of their marketing campaign. They're going to say they're getting hacked just to advertise the game.
I mean, Zelnick did say they were going to get really
I don't think
creative.
it's their style.
Yeah, I mean, they say any publicity is good publicity, but I don't know about that. It's pretty tough to agree
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, no. I'd expect something like that from like the old like Treyarch, like Black Ops when they're doing like Easter eggs, like doing like little hunts and stuff. I wouldn't expect it from GTA.
Yeah. So there's tinfoil hat and there's tinfoil suit, and I think that's more in like tinfoil suit terrain. But yeah, no, that's definitely interesting. So yeah, I mean, I don't think it's anything super serious that we need to worry about, but I guess we'll find out here in the coming days. I mean, they said they gave until the 14th to like pay up, or they're gonna drop whatever. So I'm really curious to see what actually comes out, if anything. If Rockstar is not planning on paying and they do actually have stuff, I fully expect that to drop on the 14th. So we'll be paying close attention to that for sure. So.
It's going to be just our luck that like a couple of days after this roundtable, they're going to leak the entire game, and we're going to have to do another one.
Yeah, exactly. We'll do an emergency roundtable. We'll say, everybody keep your phone on the hook. And
I think it's also just evidence, right? That, I mean, clearly Sav is the hacker, right? Because he set this whole thing up so that we could have the roundtable and talk about it. And I just want to know how much money you asked for, man.
Not enough. So, but yeah, I'm glad that we were able to kind of touch on that. There's a lot of other things I want to get to, and since that didn't take too terribly long, maybe we can jump into some of these news topics. So, I did have some questions prepared for each of you on this, so maybe we can jump through these real quick. The first one I have for Rob, as it relates to Trailer 3 and the 177-day theory. So the 177-day theory points to May 26th as Trailer 3's drop date. The original release date turned into a marketing moment. Do you buy that? And what do you think Trailer 3 actually needs to show to move the needle after Trailer 2 set the bar so high?
Sure. I think, yeah, sure. Why not? I don't have any problem with that. I think a lot of people throw out a lot of silly theories about, like, there was something about Ray Liotta and May and all that back when we thought the game was going to release then, and people were theorizing that their drop date for the game had something to do with him because obviously he was the star of Vice City. I don't buy that kind of stuff. I think the choices that make at the corporate level with Take-Two and Rockstar and stuff are way bigger than picking some cosmic or trivial kind of date that looks good on Wikipedia at the end of the day. But I do think as a way of saying, look, we really thought we were going to make this May deadline and we didn't. And we know that that's when you were expecting something. To give us something on that date does make a lot of sense. Is it a guarantee by any means? No. I don't think we can count on it. But I think the timeline works out. A lot of people do the math of like RDR2's release, GTA 5's release, and they go the backtrack of it was released on this date and they did trailers on this date. Again, even that, I don't give too much credit because I'm like, this is different. Those games came out within a few years of each other. They were on kind of a cycle. This is a totally different ball game. I've always said that I feel like the analogy for this game is Rockstar used to be in the business of like building cars, and then they kind of got in the business of building planes. And then this time they got into the business of we're going to make a space shuttle. And it got so big. And now accidentally, because of the pandemic and the hype and the money and all of this stuff, they're building a space station. They're building the Death Star of video games. This is the most epic, comprehensive. I mean, the procedural glass stuff we've read about in the last couple months. This stuff is crazy, the amount of depth and detail that they're going into. So I think, to follow up your other question, you got to show us a little bit of that. I think let's see some of that detail. The game already looks beautiful. In the first trailer to the second trailer, we're like, you look them side to side, you're like, wow, even just that jump is huge. I think this trailer needs to do that too. It needs to make the other two trailers be like, whoa, those were impressive. This is next level. And I'll say two things about this, and this is the end of my answer. First thing is, I don't know if we need more story. I know a lot of people are going to say that. They're like, we want to know more about what's happening. I don't want to hear any more story necessarily. I'm cool with what we have so far, and I'm happy to get maybe a little color to that. I want to know more about this world. We've barely seen it. The website gave us a lot. but the trailers haven't covered that much of the northern part of the state. It really feels like the trailers are largely based in Vice City. So I'd like to get more of a hint of this northern border. I'd like to get a better idea of the size. I want the mapping project people to go, oh man, we were way off. There's so much more than we thought there was going to be. So I feel like the world is what really needs it. I know a lot of people are expecting and hoping for Jason and Lucia trailers and stuff like that. I think we got those. I honestly think these two trailers were the Jason and Lucia trailers.
Yeah,
I think the world, and I think the story is kind of vaguely set up, just enough for us to kind of know but be surprised. And the characters with the website, I'm good with all that. The world is still the part that we need. And my last point is, tell us how to say the name of the damn state, please. Please tell us if it's Leonida or Leonida or whatever. I'm so sick of guessing. All of us are like,
what's everyone's pronunciations? What
how we say it, guys? How do we
I'm
say
saying
it?
Leonida.
I'm hard Leonida.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Leonida.
Agreed.
I've heard the Leonida argument. Florida, Leonida, don't care. Leonida.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that. Well, yeah, I think I'm with you on all that. I would like to see more of the world. I would like to see more of the northern part of the map. But I think if Rockstar hasn't shown us that so far, they're probably not likely to, especially if there is something waiting for us up there. I don't think they're going to show us that. Now, if trailer 3 rolls out and we see like a northern part of the coastline, then I guess all suspicions are confirmed that, you know, it is more of like an island style map than anything that we've maybe speculated at, and we can kind of put that to bed at least for now. And then the next conversation would be, oh, is there a second island? You know, so we'll kind of cross that bridge when we come to it, but
it'll still be fun. And I like cross that bridge. That was I like that.
Yeah.
Literally.
Well,
nice.
Pun was not intended, but we can pretend it was. So
always take credit, man. Just always take credit for the wordplay.
Yeah. Okay, Will, I got one for you, buddy. There's a fresh report saying GTA 6 Online could launch within a month of the base game. Given that GTA Online basically swallowed the single-player experience for GTA 5, does a fast online launch worry you from a narrative and story appreciation standpoint?
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm actually on the side of I think it should be a month, because I feel like the 2 weeks was pretty quick. But I do remember back in like 2013, I was like very much excited for online because it was kind of new, it was novel. It was like, oh yeah, I mean, I've been waiting for Trevor, Franklin, Michael, all this, but like I want to get into online. But now I'm a different player. I kind of, I want to get used to the features and explore and stuff. So I mean, it really kind of depends on the player, I'd say. Like the online people, that's what they're ready for. They're gonna play a little bit of story mode, get used to the mechanics, and then pretty much just jump straight in. But the single player people, they're gonna hang out in single player and they're not even gonna care about jumping into online.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think I'm with you. I think 30 days gives us enough time to kind of digest the story and really get to experience, the narrative storytelling that Rockstar probably still wants to do, even with, Dan not being a part of the team anymore. I still think I still think it's going to be a good story. There's just too many people that have been doing this too long that are still there and, very much understand the vibe, of how they want it to be. So, I think 30 days is a good number. I wouldn't complain if we got it in 2 weeks, honestly, but that's coming from more of like a, content creation perspective. I'm sure Lank would agree with me on this one, that the sooner that online arrives, the better for content creators.
Yeah, I mean, especially like me and people who focus on online more, it's good. I also think, just to overtake you for a bit, Will, I think the length between story and online does heavily depend on when it releases. If we're assuming it does release November 19th, a month after that is basically right before Christmas, which is kind of a great time for people to be buying and getting the game if they're more excited for online rather than story. Personally, I would actually like it to be even longer because I have a wedding I'm going to like Jan 10th, and that's going to be a really annoying time. I'm going to America for like 5 days in the middle of the release of the game. So I wouldn't mind if it releases after that, but if it's 2 weeks, that'd probably give me enough time to prepare content as well.
Yeah, that would suck, dude. Having a long trip like right around that time. I've told my wife, I was like, don't you dare plan anything within 3 months of November 19th and 3 months after. I won't be there. I don't
my
care if somebody
5-year
dies. I won't be at the
anniversary is
funeral.
9 days later.
Yeah, you ain't doing anything for that.
Yeah. No. You're just gonna have to tell her, man. Just be like, hey, look, it's for the I'm working, babe. I've got to work.
For the future.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, you want a nicer house? You want a nicer car? Like, just let me do this. So, but yeah, no, that's great. Well, speaking of Lank, I got a question for you here. It pertains to the PS5 price hike. Obviously, they just raised the prices. We've got $649 or $650 for the standard model, $900 for the Pro. Obviously GTA 6 is expected to move a ton of consoles. Do you think the hardware price spike at that level actually threatens the game as far as like launch numbers, or do you think GTA 6 just transcends all that and it's a non-issue?
Yes, I did have a think about this last night. Obviously, we're all coming from like a privileged position where if we don't already have the consoles, which I do, investing in it is like a business expense for a lot of us. So we're just gonna get it anyways. I think if it hikes to 2,000, we'd all buy it because we need GTA 6.
Yeah.
I do think for the people, like we've known about GTA 6 for a long time now, the people who don't have a console and may want one have probably been planning to save up and buy one for quite a while. I think for all those people, the price hike absolutely sucks, and I think it's wrong for Sony to be hiking consoles that have been out for how long has it been now? 5 years or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I don't, for the majority of people, I'm sure there'll be some people that will definitely struggle to meet the new hiked prices. I think for those that have already been planning to save up for the past 6 months, a year, I do think they will sort of stomach it and still go ahead and get it. Because if the whole plan was to get the consoles for GTA 6, I don't think the increase in price will stop people getting it. Maybe it will delay them a couple more months or something, but I do think most people will still go ahead and get it. I think the only thing that may change with the price hike is if we get news that GTA 6 is coming out on PC earlier than we may have expected, because I think a lot of us were thinking maybe a year after. If Rockstar comes out and says it's only going to be 3 months or 6 months, then I think a lot of people may go, the hike in consoles, not really worth it. I'll just wait until that comes out on PC. Depends how much people care about spoilers and like playing it day one and all that, but yeah, I think it totally depends on the individual's like financial situation. A lot of factors go into it. I think the PC thing could have a big chance of influencing someone getting it or not, but I think in general, I do believe that it won't have the massive effect. I think consoles will still be moved. I think GTA will still be moved. If Rockstar were really concerned about numbers being low, they would have released on PC day one. They would have made it work on PS4, I don't think it's their biggest concerns. They're just going to keep it how it is, no matter what happens to the console market.
I would say it would just suck if they just dropped, the PS6 not too long after. For the average consumer, that's not great. So if they pull
that'd
that,
be all.
it would just not look great. So hopefully they don't. Maybe they space it a little bit.
I think the biggest difference really that this could make is just less people buying the Pro and more people buying just a standard PS5.
Yeah.
I think
Which, from what I've seen, the Pro's a bit better, but it's not significant enough of an increase that you really need to get it. It's like buying the new iPhone every year. It's like, yeah, it will be slightly better, but it's probably not absolutely necessary even over the money for it. Buy the PS5 now to play the game, then get the PS6 whenever that comes out, or get it on PC when it comes out, I think is what most people will be looking for.
Yeah, It'll really be interesting to see, if we do end up getting 60 frames on the Pro for GTA 6. If that's the case, then I would imagine that would have to affect console sales a little bit, as far as like whether you would get a PS5 Pro or just a standard edition.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's
depends on what the average gamer really cares about. We've been playing 30 FPS games for so long, half people don't even really notice the difference.
Right.
And I think if it comes to a sacrifice of, maybe a month's rent for someone or a few months' rent, or having 60 FPS, I think people would rather just get the 30 FPS, enjoy the story at a slightly lower frame rate and just deal with it,
Yeah, 100%. I think that honestly the biggest customer that I can see purchasing a PS5 Pro for those extra 30 frames are the PC gamers that are going to have to sit around and wait. And, going from playing at 120 plus frames to 30 frames is like, it hurts your eyes. I've made the case, my chat gives me a hard time because I'm like PC Master Race all the way, but like It does. Like when you're used to everything running at a certain level and then you like drop down to 30 frames, like it's a big difference. So I can see them
No, absolutely.
maybe purchasing that PS5 Pro for those extra 30 frames, but your average person, no, I don't think they're going to care. I don't think they'd even notice the difference, to be honest with you.
No, because like we're talking about people who are buying the PS5 for the game. Most of those people, yes, some of them will be coming from PC, but a lot of them are going to be coming from PS4, Xbox One. People coming from there are not going to notice the frame increase because I don't think they have 60 FPS on most of their games on those consoles. So yeah,
I guess something we haven't mentioned is do you see a more trend towards PlayStation or Xbox for consumers? Personally, I was in Target like a couple weeks ago and I look at the two different displays and I notice the PlayStation display looks way nicer and Xbox doesn't. And I don't know if that's a trend that we're heading in that direction for sales to be more popular for PlayStation and Sony, you know, and I don't know.
I
don't
think
know
we've already been there.
Yeah.
I think we've been in the PlayStation train for years now. I think the Xbox One was really the last console that was even close. And since then, Sony's just taken. Like I was an Xbox. Like I had a PS2, but then I think Xbox 360 is maybe the greatest console of all time. I got the Xbox One initially, then I moved to PS4 because my friends had it, and then since then it's just been PlayStation. I think they've really just taken over the market. I also think the downside of Xbox recently is because they've had that integration with PC, where you have like the Xbox Game Pass, you can play all the games on PC. Most people that played Xbox don't even need the Xbox anymore. Whereas PlayStation, you still have a lot of exclusives. I do think it is a high quality product, even though it is more expensive typically.
Yeah, I think it's like a
you're
70-30
right.
split. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'm kind of the exception that proves the rule, though, because I don't own a PlayStation or a PC. And I'm a GTA content creator.
How are you in this call? Are you on a laptop?
I'm on a Mac. And I have an Xbox Series X.
Gotcha.
And I do everything on those two pieces of hardware. I was strongly considering getting a PS5 Pro for the work, for the game, and then they jacked it up $100, and now I'm like, maybe not.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm normal. I think I'm a weird exception to the rule. I think most people line up with everything you just said.
Yeah, I think one interesting part about the Xbox PlayStation debate, and I don't know if you're going to talk about this, Sav, in another question, but if GTA 6 is not cross-play, will a lot of Xbox players feel the pressure to move over so they can play with more people or their friends?
Right, they'll be incentivized by their friend groups for sure.
Are you talking crossplay between consoles and PC or crossplay between Xbox and PlayStation?
Mainly consoles. I think I wouldn't be shocked if we don't get PC console cross compatibility, but I think Xbox PlayStation should happen. If it doesn't happen though, I do think Xbox is going to lose a lot of sales or just a lot of players in general.
Yeah, I
they
can't
gotta
imagine
incentivize some bundle or something, you know?
Yeah, well, and there's this rumored marketing deal between Sony and Take-Two and Rockstar too. So it's like, you know, how does that play a factor in this? Is that just is there some, you know, clause somewhere in that agreement that, you know, there's no cross compatibility because Sony knows they have the upper hand. They have all the leverage. You know, like I said, it's a 70-30 split. Most of the console market is made up of, you know, PlayStation users. I will say, when you look at the broader market though, like across all sales of GTA, PC is like 40%. And the other 60% is split, you know, 70-30 between, you know, PlayStation and Xbox. So there are technically more PC GTA gamers than there are PlayStation GTA gamers.
If they're listening, they still have a living chance. They just have to talk to us. If they sponsor us, we'll give them a little shot there.
Yeah. Never miss an opportunity.
If there's cross-play between Xbox and PlayStation on GTA 6, I will not buy a PlayStation.
Yeah, and that's fair.
Yeah, that's good.
Like, there's no reason to.
Yeah.
This is one of the only video games I even play anymore.
Yeah. If there's not, that's kind of the only reason I have gotten the PlayStation. There are so many more people I want to play with on a PlayStation. And I just don't like the Xbox anymore, man. I'm finished with it. I've been playing that since the 360 days and I just can't anymore. Especially after going to PC, I don't want to play the Xbox. The combination I feel like moving forward is just a PC and a PlayStation at this point.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna get an Xbox, you might as well get a PC, which is just a better version of an Xbox. You know, it's like I understand the whole wanting to sit on the couch and play and casually game and all that stuff, and there's a, you know, an argument to be made for that. But like, you can do everything on a PC that you can do on an Xbox. That's not the same case for a PlayStation. So like, I get the argument there, but I don't know. I'm kind of biased. It's hard for me to have the console conversation because I begrudgingly purchased a PlayStation Pro. I did not want to buy a console. I had no intention of getting a console. But when they said that this game wasn't launching on PC day one, I'm like, well, I guess that kind of seals that deal. I got to. So, and my
That was
first
me too with
experience,
the price hike. The price hike got me. That's when I
Yeah.
jumped in and got the Pro.
Yeah, well, I imagine a lot of people did, and that back to Link's point about, or whoever was saying, or no, that was Snarko that was saying the displays for PlayStation look a little bit better. I would imagine so. They're asking an extra $150 for their consoles, so they got to try and lure as many people over to the end of the aisle as possible. So,
and I don't know if you've seen the CEO of Sony talking about why they jacked the prices up, because he gave a little bit more context with that more recently about their other markets have plummeted. Like China is totally outdoing them on TVs, stereo, all their other hardware outside of the PlayStation. So Sony is being kept alive by PlayStation right now. It is the thing that really keeps that company afloat. Even their film division, which I've made stuff for Sony before, like in the film division, and I can tell you they used to be a really big player. I mean, they used to be the Spider-Man guys. Now they have to split all that money with Marvel. Like they're not where they used to be as a company. Sony used to run electronics, and now they're the PlayStation guys.
Yeah, that's a fair point too. Yeah, I made a video kind of, it was a tinfoil hat speculation video, but I was trying to figure out if GTA 6, like the looming launch of GTA 6, played a factor in that price hike decision at all on Sony's end. Especially, I mean, it wouldn't make sense unless like they were able to achieve like, an extra.
Do you think it did?
30 frames. I don't know. I don't think it was the main reason, but I can't imagine it didn't come up in the conversation. You know what I mean? Like they're all sitting around the table. Like think about it like this. Like if they were testing 60 frames and they were able to hit it and it runs, and GTA 6 runs well on the PlayStation Pro at 60 frames, I can't imagine that wouldn't be that wouldn't be brought up. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if anyone's better at the economics and the business end of sales, but to me, it seems strange to hike the price when you're expecting a big game to come out. To me, it would make more sense to almost have a sale, because if you have a sale, that means more people are probably more likely to buy it. And with that, you would expect maybe even more profit over the long run.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's why companies do sales in the first place, to get the people who wouldn't usually buy a product to buy it because it's on sale, it's cheap. If anything, if they made the PS5 Pro $50 off from the previous price, you might have seen way more people to go ahead and buy it in expectation of the new game coming out. But they sort of did the opposite. Maybe they think GTA 6 is just so big of a product that people aren't even going to care about the price, and that's
they still could do the sale, man.
Yeah.
There's still time, but they've hiked it up, so the sale would be what the original price probably is, which is quite shitty on their part. But
so if you think about it, it's like a win-win-win.
It would, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so you'd
feel like you're getting it at a deal when you're just paying what it was a year ago.
Well, you announced the price hike
sale in like November.
That's right. Yeah, you announce the price hike, give gamers like a week or two to go ahead and get the console before the price hike. That drives a sale, and that drives a spike in sales. Then the price hike goes up. The people that are going to get it anyway. And then right before the game launches, you do a sale, bring it right back down to the price that it was, and everybody goes and buys the console, and you've won 3 times.
Yeah,
or
GTA6 with it.
Yeah, a little bundle.
Exactly. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, man.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
probably what they will do.
It's they're playing chess. We're over here playing checkers. So
yeah.
Well, I've got a question for Bav here, and it kind of relates to like budget and pressure and all that stuff. So the way I have it written out here is public filing suggests that Rockstar North has already spent over $2 billion on GTA 6's development alone, with some estimates putting the total, including marketing, closer to $3 to $4 billion. Does that number change your expectations for what the game has to deliver? And does it add pressure to GTA 6 Online being a massive long-term success?
Look, I think this game is going to be big, no matter what. It's going to be the best game that we've ever played, and we're all going to be blown away with it. But when we keep getting delays and we keep hearing things, the budget's going up, I feel like all of us start to like raise our expectations a little bit higher. Like every single day we don't hear something. And then it makes me wonder, like when the game drops, are we just going to be like super critical of it, that the smallest little thing is enough to set us off and be like, no, this game's horrible. It didn't meet my expectations. But I don't know. When I see the budget stuff, I kind of don't listen to it that much because I don't think it's really going to affect my opinion. But it's something that is in the back of my head that we're just raising unreal expectations.
Yeah, and seeing the breakdown that Salco 505 did as far as like the total costs and what Rockstar has spent on, even like I was watching GTA 6 o'clock and they were talking about it too, and they had mentioned they were crunching some numbers and they said something about it, like if you factor in just the cost of electricity at Rockstar North over the course of like 6 years of development, it could be anywhere from like $6 to $18 million just the electric bill. So it's like, that kind of stuff, you add all that up over time, you've got salaries, you've got, deals that you're making with record labels and all sorts of things and paying voice actors. And then you have the technology and development side of things, patents, like it adds up. I think what GTA 5 cost about 265 million to make, something like that. And that was back in 2013, so if you scale that up and factor in inflation, I think we're maybe like 1.5 billion for the game. But like if you add on a bunch of stuff and they're trying to exceed expectations, it kind of goes up from there. But I don't think they're gonna have a problem making all that back. They're gonna make all that money back within 60 days.
Couple days,
easy.
Yeah.
I say the first day. I think they'll make billions the first day.
Genuinely.
Yeah.
Especially if they do the console bundles as well, that's going to go crazy. It's just going to be ridiculous.
Made a point, they're a publicly traded company, Take-Two Interactive, that definitely helps their shares and, the dividends and all that. And also their staff probably has cuts on their shares in Take-Two. So I'm sure they incentivize their staff with stock options. And, I think there's a lot of money moving around because it's the biggest game and everybody knows that. And it'd be pretty tough to top what they're about to make, over the next 10 years. Pretty tough.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And they're one of the only companies that hasn't been caught laying off a shitload of people.
Yeah.
Like
Speaking of other companies.
Yeah, there's like almost every company out there. And I got friends out here in LA who work in gaming who are like trying to get a job, and all they're hearing about is more layoffs. It's everywhere. But Rockstar, other than the union stuff that they got in trouble for and all that, which is not even part of what I'm pointing out, they are just, man, they're holding everybody. Everyone's still on staff. Everyone's still there. Even with the delay, you'd think if all you were doing was polishing and like, what are you doing? Just QA testing? I know we're going to talk about the voice actor stuff and everything, but I mean, man, you'd think at least you could cut a couple hundred people, send them home. Thank you for your early work on the game. Let's try to keep the costs down as we punch it out, but they're not doing that.
Well,
I think
that's
they're one of the smarter ones, though. Rockstar, they know what they're doing with the cash flow.
Agreed.
I feel like other companies, Rockstar's been around longer than all these guys. I'm not going to name specific companies, but a lot of them had hype for a long time, but they also screwed it up.
Ubisoft.
So Rockstar hasn't screwed it up yet. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they will. So when you screw up, you're going to lose your money, and you're going to lose your ass. So let's just hope they don't do that, because then they'll keep their staff.
Yeah, I will bring up one sort of alternative point. You were talking about how the possible even higher price of production, 3-4 billion, could increase our expectations of the game. I think we've seen in the creative industry before, whether it be games, TV, movies, that after a certain point, more cash doesn't equal quality. Like, more money's not going to make better writing. You can have one dude write GTA 6 that could theoretically be better if he's just better at the writing. Like, I haven't watched new season, but Invincible, to me, the animation looks garbage, and it's made by Amazon, a super rich company that has a bunch of money.
Right, money doesn't mean everything. Yeah.
Exactly. I think up to a certain point for a game this massive, you do need to pay a certain amount of money. But after, I don't know what the exact number is, but it's like, I think I've seen before as well, in real life, after you earn like 6 figures, the next amount of money doesn't really increase your happiness or quality of life as much as the previous 6 figures, for example. So say after the first billion they put into the game, the next billion is diminishing returns in terms of how much more quality it adds on. So if we are getting up to that 3-4 billion number, I don't think that should increase our expectations as much, because that probably is, like you said, electricity costs, wages, record labels for songs in game. Like, how much do you think they're paying if they're getting like a Kendrick song on the radio or
a lot
other stuff? Exactly.
I mean, payroll adds up. How many? Do you guys know how many employees they kind of have? I mean,
no,
thousands.
I think
like
I did the math,
2,000 to 3,000. I think, right?
Yeah, that's a
So that's
billion
a huge
payroll
amount of money
immediately.
Yeah.
So you can't. it's part of the process. You know, I think that's probably the most expensive is just the people. Uh,
Mhm.
and then second would probably be licensing for certain stuff that we don't even know about yet.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, and
you
obviously
could talk
paying
all day
more
about
for
it.
the better people in the industry is going to be making a better game.
Right.
But like I said, money can't save bad writing, and I don't think we're going to get bad writing, just to say. But that's something to keep in mind. No matter how much money they spend, it could still end up. There can still be things that end up being shit. Not that I think there will be, but you know that's how it is.
Yeah.
I have
Yep.
watched it happen at work for the last 15 years of my career, dude. I've watched people pour money into the entertainment business trying to save a thing that was never a good idea to start with. And all I can do is echo what you just said. You can't buy your way out of a bad experience.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I guess Mind's Eye should learn that lesson.
Oh,
we,
God.
we don't want to get sued
that
around
could
here.
have been one word. That could have been a one-word point.
Mind's eye.
Mind's eye.
Yeah, yeah. So I got a question for Snarko here. Zelnick casually mentioned the $70 to $80 price range in a recent interview, and a lot of outlets are treating that as like, you know, GTA 6 is confirmed as $70 to $80. Do you think? Yeah. Do you think he's in the right ballpark for this game specifically? And if not, what do you think GTA 6 is actually going to cost and why?
Yeah, for the average consumer, it totally makes sense in the $70-$80 price range. Like I said, they can sell more copies over the long term. They'll make more money, so they're playing the long game. I really don't think they're looking to just charge $130 and sell it to, let's say, 20 million people. They're looking to sell it to hundreds of millions of people at a cheaper price, right? So they know what the right price is. I think that $70-$80 mark makes sense for it. Premium editions, you know, GTA Plus subscriptions, it adds up, right? So eventually you're over that $100 mark. But for the base game, yeah, $70-$80 makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that, you know, they'll make up their money as far as like special editions and, you know, collector's editions and all that stuff. They can charge whatever they want to charge for that, and the people that were going to get it were going to get it anyway.
Yep.
You know,
Exactly.
and then you've got, of course, the online, which is going to make them all the money, and the shark cards and everything else, and that's like a whole separate conversation. But yeah,
I was going to say we know.
Yeah. Go ahead, Dan.
I was going to say, we know the monetization sort of method that companies are using nowadays. Rockstar probably care very little about the actual game release price. They're going to make their money with GTA Plus, whether they do a battle pass or similar to what we have right now with the regular Plus, with shark cards, which they're probably going to be more. I wouldn't be shocked if we have more variants of shark cards in the next game, like a $50 million card or something ridiculous. They're going to get their money back from that. Honestly, if anything, I think it'd be smart to keep the base game as cheap as they can, so more people buy it, so more people will get the shark cards, the plus, and all the other stuff that comes with it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I think that is the plan. I've said it would not surprise me if they launch this game at $60. I mean, it really wouldn't. Like, they could totally do it, and it would make perfect sense. Now, do I think
It
they're going
wouldn't
to
be
do
a
that?
bad plan.
No. I think it'll probably be 70, more likely $80. But that would be the high end. I can't see them going above 80, $79.99 for the base game.
$79.99 looks appealing. I think any more than that, it just looks kind of weird, you know.
Yeah.
$69.99 would be funny too. It's GTA, but I don't know, you know.
Yeah.
I do have one question for you guys though.
Yeah.
With regard to that, I've had discussions with this with some other YouTubers before. Do you think, because right now I believe you can get GTA Online separate from the base game, do you think when we launch the game, you'll be able to buy GTA Online separate from 6 story?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
And
that makes sense.
What do you think the price will be for that? Do you think it would be like 60 for the story, 20 for online? Will online be free? So then they can just get the shark cards back? What do you think they'll go for?
I don't
feel
think
like it should be free.
I think free would work and make sense, but I bet they still don't, because I think when you're a company like this that does make a premium product, it does, even though they could, it sends a message when you're saying our thing is free to play. It sends a totally different message to say it's a very affordable online, low cover charge. The drinks are expensive kind of vibe. I don't think, and because that's another thing that I think in the same interview that you're referencing, Sav, about Zelnick, he said, if you're going to pay up front, we're not going to flood you with ads and stuff like that. Free to play, you're going to see the ads because that's how we're going to do it. And that gets murky. So just keep a premium price on it, even if it's much lower. $20, sure. If they could do 25, it would still sell.
Honestly, I could see
like you said.
anything from 20 to $40, like $19.99, $39.99. I think that would be perfectly reasonable because, you know, and obviously the lower they make it, they're pricing themselves into a larger market because the people that aren't interested in the story, which let's face it is probably, you know, 60 to 70% of the player base, you know, they're all wanting to get access to online. You know, especially if they're launching it 2 to 4 weeks after the main game comes out, you charge $20 for that. They make a ton of money on that as well, you know. And then the same people that, and this is what always, I want to bring this point up too, because this drives me nuts. All the people that are like, oh my gosh, I'm not paying $80 for it, or I'm not paying $70 for it. What happened in the $60 price range? I'm like, think about it like, you go to the movies, right? You go and see a movie, you buy some popcorn, you take somebody with you. That's like a $40 experience, right? You do that a handful of times, right? And that's for like what, an hour, hour and a half? You know what I mean? Right. And you don't have anything to show for it but the movie stub. You know what I mean? So it's like, we're going to get hundreds and hundreds or even thousands of hours worth of entertainment out of this game, dude. Even at $100, it's a steal. You know what I mean?
Your value of entertainment it's astronomical, you know, so people shouldn't complain about the price because they'll spend time on it, you know, and it'll be worth their time and their money that they earn to buy the game. It will be worth it, you know.
Despite the grind requirement to succeed, I always said this for the whole lifetime of GTA Online, every single DLC was free. Every single one. And they paid a full staff to come up with whether it was a beach bum update or bringing Ned Luke back. He was not free. Like he was not a free actor to come back and record his work to do Safe House in the Hills. They had to pay for that, but they gave it to us for free because they have a different price model worked out.
Yeah, I mean, getting Dre as well, like that must have been expensive as all hell.
And licensing his new music for the game.
Yeah.
That's another thing that I think that is a big price, and they're thinking differently than they used to. Because I'm sure most of you guys know the story about Vice City Stories and why you can't find it anywhere because of Phil Collins. If you don't know and anyone listening doesn't know this full story, go right now and try to buy Vice City Stories somewhere. It's much more difficult than any other Grand Theft Auto game. And the reason for that is Phil Collins literally appears in that game like Dr. Dre does in Online. And his music is there, and he plays a live concert in the game. They had an issue with extending the license because anytime you do a music license, it's for a time period. It's very rare to have an indefinite, we can use your songs for the rest of eternity license. So you get a time period where you get to own it, and then that expires, and you have to re-up the game. And back in the PS2 days, they weren't like, let's buy this Phil Collins song for 30 years. They didn't think people are going to play this game that long. Yeah. Now, people want to play Vice City Stories on their mobile, just like they can play Liberty City Stories. But you can't because they could not reach a deal with Phil Collins and his people to extend that license. So now the game's almost impossible unless you still own a PS2.
Now it's just a collector's item.
So they're thinking longer. You know what I mean? They're going to want to keep the music in the game. Remember when they re-released that big patch in GTA 5 and it took a bunch of the songs out? Like half the radio disappeared? That's why. Because they didn't plan for the game to be played for 15 years. That wasn't part of the deals they made back in, 2012, 2011?
Well, as far as they're concerned,
easy.
Yeah, thank God for, being able to patch stuff in and out of the game. So, I mean, I can't imagine spending that much money on the development of this and with licensing and then being stuck with it and having to pull it from shelves. So, okay. Well, I kind of want to get into some questions as far as like the systems, progression, map, philosophy, that kind of stuff. So, I've got some questions for you guys on that stuff. Thank you, by the way, guys, for hanging out in the chat. We appreciate it. And we'll maybe get to some of your questions here towards the end of this if we got time. But as far as
questions from viewers, that'd be fun.
Yeah, I think so too. So Dan, I got a question for you as it relates to like customization. How deep do you want the vehicle customization to go in GTA 6 for like as far as like your challenge content is concerned? Do you want to have like tuning and upgrades meaningfully? Wait, hold on. Should tuning and upgrades meaningfully change how cars handle and open new run ideas, or stay mostly cosmetic? So basically, are you wanting more cosmetic style surface level stuff, or you want like deep sort of like, oh, let's tune the engine to get higher acceleration versus slower top speed? Like how deep you want to go on that?
So I'm not like the biggest, I'm not like a Bruffy, I'm not like the car guy. So in terms of like really in-depth tuning for like handling, acceleration and stuff, I think it would be cool to see maybe maybe if with the RP dedicated servers, there was like specific car tuning servers where you had more customization. But for the base online, I've held this opinion. If the handling, acceleration, all that stuff stayed exactly the same, like literally copy paste from 5 to 6, I'd be happy. I think GTA 5 is my favorite driving experience in all games. I think Forza Horizon and Gran Turismo are maybe better for like more racing people, but I love GTA 5 driving. I love like stunting. I love the racing, and it's always been my favorite part of the game. So if they kept that all the same, I'd be very like pleased with it. Obviously, having maybe more tiers of acceleration or transmission would be cool. The drift wheels they put in sort of like a year or two ago were a nice little addition. Having some more stuff like that to make your car maybe a bit more fun. I like the Lowriders DLC. I think they could have gone further with it, like more customizations in terms of that. I think the Benny's DLC, which was God knows how long ago now, it'd be cool. Like I think the Benny stuff is really sick, but there's only like 20 vehicles you can do it to. It'd be nice if you could do it to way more, like retroactively add new cars back into Benny's, which I don't think they've ever done, maybe once or twice.
Yeah, Sav, didn't we say that on Friday, or what was it? We said like they didn't change any vehicles. It was just like there, you know.
Oh yeah, it's just been sort of added.
Out, it'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like a rotating collection
for the Bennies, or just like having HSW available, more vehicles. I just like more stuff like that. I've started doing it more now, where like a lot of DLC cars will have HSW, have Amani Tech, but it's not a lot. They have done that patch like 6 months ago where they added retroactively, got a lot of Amani Tech on old vehicles, which is really nice. More stuff like that is cool. Like more customizations in terms of like armor, faster speed on the base cars is nice. I don't care too much about the handling or that side of things. In terms of the visuals, I do think it is lacking in GTA for the most part. Whenever a new DLC comes out, my favorite thing is to go ahead and see what all the cars have in terms of customization. Checking out the liveries is like the first thing I always do. And a lot of the liveries, there's usually one car that has some pretty unique ones, but all the rest are quite basic and disappointing. It's the white stripe down the middle, the black stripe down the middle, or like the 2 black stripes down the middle. It's like the same like 7 or 8 things every single time.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's always the same things, which like I appreciate they're there in the first place. Like when GTA first came out, there was like no liveries pretty much. But it would be nice to see. What do you think
of custom liveries? Would that be a thing?
I would love to have custom liveries, but we're gonna see swastikas, penises, like we're gonna see everything on there instantly. Exactly. If they can find some way to
moderate
that, yeah. Like I honestly, personally, I wouldn't care too much, but like I know for the game they can't be having that stuff everywhere. If they could find some way to moderate it, that would be really cool, because I think custom liveries is the best way to express your own personality or style on a car. Seeing more unique vehicles would give me a reason to buy more vehicles, because like once you buy a vehicle, you customize it once. I feel like most people just kind of leave it and move on to another one. It would give you a reason to buy multiple of the same vehicle, customize them differently, uniquely. One thing I've also always complained about, I know you can get around this by using the crew color customization for your crews, but I feel like we should just have a color picker for colors, not just like the basic ones they have. You should have the whole hue wheel and just be able to pick whatever color you want for your car. The fact that is not a feature is really confusing to me, because I feel like it would be so simple to implement. I mean, they have it for the crew color, but you can only have one at a time, or like you can technically glitch it and have multiple. So that would be cool to see. Custom liveries, if they can moderate it, would be really cool. And then just more things like having more cars, being able to customize the interior, because you can do it on some vehicles but not others, and just have it available for all of them would be my suggestion to Rockstar. Like I want to be able to change the seat color on my motorbike, change the rims on everything. Yeah. On the boats and planes barely have any customizations apart from a few of them. Having more of those would be great. Like, I've always
individual interior components. Like for example, you want your steering wheel to have like a wood grain to it, and then you want like brown leather seats, but like the dash to be like black with like white trim, you know? Like
absolutely.
Individually customizing components I think would be really, really cool.
Yeah, so like there's some cars you can, I think it's mainly the like street cars from the LS Car Meet. You can do some of that with.
You
can change like the hood, things. The Benny's ones, yeah.
You guys want a random fact? If Buck is watching, he said they removed the 8-ball from the shifter on the lowrider. He told me that yesterday.
Yeah, I did see that.
What?
Yeah.
Dan, where are you on swastikas made of penises? If that's the only kind.
Ooh, no.
Now you're on something.
No?
No, I'm like
Is that
Maybe-
still
Oh my God.
offensive?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, two negatives make a positive. Typically, is how it goes, right? Maybe it's fine at that point.
Okay.
Did somebody
sure.
have the door knocking sound effect? Was
Yeah.
that you, Snarko? I
Yeah, I just
literally
picked it up,
like thought
yeah.
somebody was at my
Have
door.
guy open up.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's interesting. Rob, I got one for you here. As far as like protagonists, well, it actually has more to do with UGC. Given the early rumors swirling around UGC and what may be possible, what kind of experiences would you most be interested in seeing as far as like creator content?
I think, and we were talking about this on stream the other night. I think we've seen maybe the stuff with Hip Hop Gamer coming out saying that like this new economy attached to GTA 6 is going to like make people millionaires, and people are talking about Fortnite and Roblox and all that kind of stuff. I do think from everything I've heard and read and researched, there is a new UGC system that we can't even begin to understand. I think that they've been testing this in really small ways with things like the content creator and stuff like that. But there is one area that I've never seen them let people contribute to, and I think that they could, but it would have to be, to your point, heavily moderated. So the main thing is we've never seen new media added to the game that's fan related, right? We've never seen a radio station made by fans, a TV show made by fans. And the truth of the matter is, if you scour the internet looking for these kinds of things, a lot of it is not, let's be honest, at Rockstar quality, and they would never let that be in the game. The other thing with things like radio stations is licensing. So if you're going to do a radio station that is music-based, that invites some trouble. Maybe there's a world where you can use tracks that they already have licensed and make yourself the DJ or whatever. But for those listening who don't already know, I started my YouTube channel by creating an in-game based canon talk radio station that's a lot like Chatterbox FM from GTA 3. That's what Vinewood Public Access originally was before it was me talking about GTA stuff. And I worked really hard on it for a really long time. It is acted by professional voice actors. I'm a professional writer. I went out of my way with the Rockstar editor to give it visuals and all this different kinds of stuff. It would be amazing if there were a team that could go through things like what I've made. Captain Glack is a tremendous YouTuber who's working on a series right now called From the Ground. That's like an in-game documentary that he literally walks around Liberty City with his avatar that he got the lips to match his dialogue. And it looks like it could be straight out of a TV in the game. Like you would
Oh, that's
not be
awesome.
able to distinguish it from the TV shows that air on the TV. It's amazing. And if you could, and like, for example, on City Skylines, one of the big things with that game, it's a city sim game. One of the big elements of that game is the radio, because the music plays while you're working on the city. And I didn't know this for a long time. That game offers radio DLC where you go and you give them like $3.99 and you get to add a whole radio station to the game. There's no reason why stuff like that
That's
couldn't
cool.
be added. Like if someone could buy VPA for $3, $4 and add it into their game and it actually shows up in the car, man, that's a dream come
This is your
true for me.
pitch to get yourself in the
Yeah,
game.
100%. And I also think,
Yeah.
because it's never been a vehicle, there's never been a vehicle for this kind of content. People don't try to make it. People
Yeah,
get good at
point.
making things like races and missions and different things like that because they know there's a chance that it could get highlighted on the Rockstar Newswire and people could go play their thing. And in games like Fortnite, where you can make your own maps and all this different stuff, different missions and gameplay styles, they pay based on engagement. On Roblox, they pay per, purchase in the marketplace and things like that. I'm fine with either one of those. If it's hours listened or it's whatever, I think pay the content creators. But I'll be totally honest, and I hate to say this, I hope Rockstar doesn't hear this part. Stop watching, Rockstar, if you're at this point of the whole round table. Man, I'd make the damn thing for free if people would just listen to it. I like it that much. It's that fun for me. And then go subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll make my bag over there. I'm not worried about that. But the idea of I've started playing this game in 2001 with GTA 3. I've been playing this for over 25 years since I was a kid. I've wanted to be Laszlo Jones my whole adult life. I thought everything he did with the radio and all that shit was the coolest thing. So I just made my own, and I've got like almost 3 hours of this radio that I've made. It's longer than most of the radio that's in the game. And the difference between what I've done and what I'm promoting that other creators could do is I keep making it. WCTR is dead. They made what they made, they hired the actors, and they move on, and it just repeats over and over again. This UGC that is media-based, outside of just missions and races and all that stuff, which is great, that would be next level. Imagine the work people would put in the Rockstar editor trying to make a TV show that's got to look Rockstar good, and the writing has to be Rockstar level. But if you get it and they like it, there's $4 a pop every time someone adds it to their game.
Yeah,
would be amazing. I did see a really good point in the comments from Yangi Young saying they wrote their university dissertation on machinima, which is like, if you don't know what a machinima is, chat, basically just video game, like movie, TV show that people make in game, really popular back in the day, not as popular nowadays. But it's quite interesting because I live in Melbourne, and a few weeks ago there was a games world, basically an exhibition where you see different things from video games all around. And in one of the rooms, there was a machinima in GTA. Someone made a GTA like TV movie machinima. And I went in there and was like, this is really cool. Would be sick if you could watch it in the game. Like, we have the movie cinemas in game and no one kind of uses them ever. Would be a great place to go watch creator made films inside GTA in the movie cinemas. Because otherwise, you know, you see the same 3 films on repeat, basically. That would be a great place to put
indie
it,
art
you know?
house. You could make it canon and appropriate. You could put it in a specific spot, and there could be posters on the outside. Again, there's a lot of structure that would have to exist within Rockstar for them to both collect this stuff. You'd have to be able to upload it. It would have to be heavily moderated, and people would have to be able to give notes. They'd be like, it's funny, but this one ad you made is over the line, dude. We can't do the swastika penis thing. Sorry. And then we cut that part out. We resubmit it. And we make the poster that's outside the movie theater. I think the main reason that I want this, and this is totally real, and you guys in the comments can blow me up if you think I'm full of it here, but it's not even the monetization. That would be great, and I think creators should get paid for their work. But the creativity in the community would explode. That machinima stuff, which used to happen way more than it does now, would be everywhere. Everyone would want to make their Rockstar GTA TV show in hopes that it gets in the game. And that would raise the level of quality in stuff that people are making. It would be incredible to see.
It would also, like, I saw this, I was really big into the montage community back when COD was in its prime. So many Call of Duty montage editors have gone on to have real editing jobs in the industry. Like, one of the big ones, Game Gandhi, who was a part of Red, which was a sort of a sub-team of FaZe, he's gone on to work on, like, Stranger Things, and I think he was in, I don't want to get it wrong, I want to say, like, Avatar or something I think he worked on. So, like, if people are making these Rockstar machinimas or even radio stations or music, it's generally a way for them to get into the industry as well. Like, it helps them create creative stuff.
Yeah.
People can see it, yeah.
Right. It gives it more opportunity. The game will come with a lot of opportunity. I guess kind of back to your UGC point, how they're going to allow that. I feel like certain servers will have to follow guidelines and then they can apply for monetization. I feel like that'd probably be the best way to do it. You know, I'm sure everybody wants monetization, but the ones that aren't following the guidelines just won't get it, you know, to keep it simple.
When I'm working on a video about this particular topic right now, and like Roblox, Fortnite, and what's the other one? Minecraft, they all handle it slightly differently. So like Minecraft has like a select, like you have to get approved in order to make like the UGC content. And once you've been approved, then you can sort of make whatever you want. And I think you get like 70% of whatever you make within Minecraft. I think Fortnite is
That's kind of massive.
It is,
That's
yeah.
sick.
But it's hard to, it's from what I understand, it's hard to get into it. And whatever you put forward has to like actually be good. Now with Fortnite, it's about a 40% payout for whatever you create, and it's open to anybody. It's just like a matter of like who all sees your stuff. And I'd imagine there'd be like a lot of promoting that you would have to do, and this is where content creators would come into play. Like, and this happens on Roblox right now. Now on Roblox, it's only like a 25% commission. But what a lot of people are literally becoming millionaires, and that's the point too that Hip Hop Gamer made in that interview with PC Magazine or PC Gamer. You know, he was saying people will become millionaires in this game, just regular people that create this content and then upload it to the market. Because, you know, if you pair up with a content creator and that content creator is promoting your stuff and more people end up going and playing it, it catches on, and then it becomes like the #1, you know, created thing that people are doing at that time. You could make a lot of money. You know, you really could.
Yeah.
I think UGC is going to be a huge game changer. I can't say this loud enough, long enough, or hard enough that UGC is really going to be like the future of the future of where this is going. Again, pun not intended. You got me on that one. But yeah, so okay. I want to jump over to another question here that I've got for. Let's see. That was Rob. So we've got Will. You're up. Looking at the current state of GTA Online, what's the one quality of life system you think Rockstar absolutely has to overhaul for GTA 6? Whether that's menus, lobbies, the phone, or how missions are launched. Where do you think they need to spend the most time on active content in GTA 5 that they're bringing over to 6 and improving on?
Yeah, so I would say as far as for like the creator side, I think I could speak for everyone and say a streamer mode would be very, very needed. I would definitely appreciate that. And then as far as as far as the player, like I would say a UI overhaul. This might just be me, but like when GTA Online first launched in 2013, navigating how to start like an invite only session was wild. It was super buried, and even like launching jobs is kind of crazy. So I think I'm sure they figured it out, but like being able to seamlessly, whether that is like in the map or certain like contacts, figuring that out where it's not buried in all the different menus.
Yeah. Yeah, those are all good.
Yeah, the menus for the mission creator are terrible. I gave up trying to learn how to use it.
I don't want to diss Rockstar. I think a lot of the menus and interactions in general are pretty bad. Like, I think there's a lot they need to overhaul for it to be seamless. Like, the main menu they added, I can't even remember what it came in, but like the main menu for like the enhanced version of the game where you have like the new update and like start game, that was a nice addition. Could still have more. You should be able to go into invite only from that main menu. You can't for whatever reason. Also, like small things like the snack and armor system is complete garbage and needs to be changed. They made it a bit better with like the RB up on the D-pad for snacks and then left analog stick for armor. They made it a bit better with that, but you still can't do it in a vehicle. Having to go to interaction menu to heal is such a pain in the ass. Trying to find missions, like there's so many people. I stream quite often, like I have been recently. There are so many people that come into chat and ask, how do I join a crew? How do I join a session? How do I join your race? People just don't know how to do these things because it's just not obvious, and it needs to be made way more obvious in general.
I was one of those people. I was so my chat was giving me a hard time. I haven't spent a whole lot of time playing GTA Online in the past like 8 years or so. I played it a lot when it launched. Played 2013, 2014, and then I was just telling Will before we started this, I kind of took a long break from GTA Online because I was into the competitive shooter scene and doing all that stuff. So I'm just now kind of coming back to it, prepping, you know, getting ready for GTA 6 because I'm planning on playing a lot of that. And just trying to get into a game with Snarko the other day was a freaking nightmare, dude. I'm like, what is this like social club thing? You got to go to a whole separate menu to accept a game invite, but then once you're friends, you don't have to, and this and that. It's like, it's overly complicated. It's way overly complicated. So I agree completely. As a total GTA noob, at least, you know, more recently, it definitely needs reworked. So I agree with that.
Put the social club in the game.
Yeah,
instead of online.
Like, it needs to be in the game, not on your PC. Like, it should just be there. I don't know why it's not. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree
and then when you're on PC, you guys have to have that launcher running too. It's so annoying, and it doesn't close. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not been fun. That's been my biggest like drawback for playing this GTA Online, is just trying to figure out all the different things that I need to know and all the different menus. I mean, just trying to close out of the game to go and play something else without ending the stream or alt F4ing or whatever, just trying to find the quit game thing is like it's buried deep in the like settings or whatever it is on the start screen. It's just, I don't know, stuff like that is aggravating. I think it needs an overhaul for sure.
Also,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know this, but there was an NDA I had to sign when I relaunched 5M like a month ago. Like I had to sign like hating everything that I wasn't gonna. I don't, something about vehicles and everything, but it's new. They just like put it on there because I haven't played 5M in probably 5-6 months, and I had to click like I had to read through all these disclosures and like assign to it, and then click accept,
January,
and
they changed everything.
yeah. So they're really, I don't know what they're doing there, but they're making it very strict. And I got a lot of buddies that do
Interesting.
server stuff, and obviously they made them pull all of their logos. If you guys don't know, all the logos on the vehicles all got pulled. Anything that looks like real world is gone. Like they'll delete their server. They've been sending them cease and desist orders, and I don't want to get too into it, but you guys know they're locking that down.
Yeah, are you
They're cleaning
breaking your
up.
NDA right now by
I don't.
saying that?
No, it doesn't mention I can't talk on air. Also, they can sue me. That's fine. Yeah.
Bav,
Yeah, no, Abandoned in chat made a really good point. Having Social Club as an app on your phone would be really good. Like that would be the perfect. Like having it like Twitter basically would be really like useful.
yeah,
just do that.
And that I feel like that'd be super easy to do too. Like they need to like stop spreading everything out on all these different menus. Like smartphones are huge, right? Like you could do everything with this. Why can't you do it in the game? You know what I mean? And I understand 2013, I guess, still trying to develop all that technology and get into a game. It was new, but like, you know, we're 2026 now. I feel like you should be able to do everything. I even think they need to make a companion app for your actual phone, your IRL phone, that you can like do all that stuff.
They did
back in the day. They did
They
this
spent
one.
their
Yeah.
time on that instead of integrating Social Club into its own app. That's what the app should have been.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
you
instead
should be able
it was
to
like a map that you could like feed Chop with your phone. We don't need shit like that.
Yeah, no, nobody cares about that. No, just make the
Yeah, I think it'd be
UI
great if-
easier.
In game, it'd be great if the start menu was purely for like settings, and then the phone was map, social media, joining players, friends, because people know how to use a phone. If you put everything on the phone, people know how to use it. The start menu, you have so many different settings. You have join game, you have like join crew, join players, join, like you have so many different things. If they put a tutorial in the game that tells you how to use all those, maybe it'd be better, but they don't have that. The tutorial doesn't tell you how to use the menus at all, like whatsoever.
Yeah, they have everything too spaced out, and honestly makes it more complicated if they think it makes it simpler. So having it in a centralized location makes obviously more sense, you know?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's honestly a really good point, Dan. Like everybody knows how to use a phone, so put everything in the phone. Simple, easy,
Yep.
problem solved. Rockstar, if you're listening, come on now. All right, Bav, from a lore perspective, how much should GTA 6 lean on returning characters and callbacks? Do you want subtle cameos, major story roles, or is there a point where fan service starts to hurt the new story?
I think that they should have characters from previous games in their games as a fan service, but they don't need to take over the entire story because it is a new game. We want to see these new characters breathe and all that. Like you don't just want to see Michael Franklin and Trevor return because it's not about them. It's about, you know, Lucia and Jason. But I still think it would be good to have main characters in smaller roles in the game. They're going to do it with smaller characters like they have done from GTA 4 to 5. So I think that's going to happen regardless. But I'd like to see main characters return, just not in a big capacity at all.
Do you have anyone in particular you'd like to see in GTA 6?
I think the top one has to be Michael again. Because I was thinking, I'm like, if they don't put him in a DLC, surely they're saving him for GTA 6. And just have him like work at a movie studio or something where, you know, he's just there. You can go up to him, interact with him, but it's nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
Or he's like one of Brian's friends, older friends, you know, just kind of tie it in somehow.
Like he's just
Yeah.
out
Jimmy
playing golf
makes a
with him
lot
one
of
day. That'd be
sense.
funny.
And
I was
maybe
going to say
Jimmy,
Jamie
I
makes
think,
a
is
lot of sense.
Yeah.
Jimmy
Say Jimmy?
or I think any of the kids, honestly, both would work
Yeah.
in Florida or Leonida perfectly.
Well, I feel like with the Mansions update, Jimmy's kind of basically confirmed in a way, like with what they've got, and then that text message that I guess we'll see in part 2 of that update. But it kind of points towards Jimmy, you know, moving out of home, away from home. Sorry, not just out of home, because if it was out of home, it'd probably be a bit local. But away from home sounds like different state altogether and all that. So,
Yep.
why would they do that if it's not going to be Leonida? You know?
What about
Do you want
Tommy?
to see anybody
how
get
old-
klebitzed?
Sorry.
Oh,
Do you want to see anybody
Ooh.
get klebitzed?
Lester.
Lester, oh my god,
Just
dude.
brought
He's
back
trying
to
to
be
enjoy his
immediately
retirement
murdered.
right now. The first mission,
Nah,
you have
get
to
rid of him,
beat
man.
an old man in a wheelchair.
Get rid of him. I want him gone.
I don't think you can do that. Would be funny though.
I know Ray Liotta's gone, but what do we
That's not happening,
think?
Sav. I know where you're going with that. It's a different universe, mate. It's not happening. You get Easter
Well-
eggs references, but it's a completely different universe.
I
fan
know. Maybe
This
maybe it's a
guy.
pipe dream, but still, I don't know. I just think it'd be really
It
cool.
is.
Like maybe just in the backdrop, he doesn't need to have any voice lines. We don't even need to see him as like a character walking around, but just like vote for SETI, 2026. Maybe he's like
You'll
in
get
the
Easter
government
eggs
or
and
something.
references, 100% you will, but it won't be the exact same character. It's like what Marvel's doing with all their alternate universes, variants, and all that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. That's what it will be. If you see someone that's called Tommy V, and he's wearing a shirt that looks like that, it's probably not Tommy Vercetti. It's based on him, but it's not him.
Out of the new characters, who are you guys most excited for? For me, it's probably Raul Bautista, number one.
Cal
Like
Hampton.
obviously besides
Ooh.
Jason Lucia, like what other outside characters?
Brian.
Cal Hampton.
Cal. Okay.
Cow.
Yeah, Cal looks interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Cal will be
seems
like
he's
a
heavy
like a
hitter.
funny comedic presence.
I think he's hot.
Like
Cal's hot. He's a good-looking guy. We need that representation in video games.
dad
That's
bods
He's got a nice bear
represent.
vibe.
Yeah.
I love the dad bod. If he
Yeah.
is a cop, I'm not gonna be happy.
Snarky's got the memes on deck. I like Brian. I think Brian looks really interesting. I'm really curious to see where his story arc kind of takes us. It sounds like he's got some connections and he's running pretty big operation down in the Keys, and I don't know. I'm just that to me is more exciting. Like I'm looking forward to like the exploring the Keys and the ocean and the islands and all that stuff. So anything that has anything to do with a boat or scuba diving or snorkeling or retrieving drugs from an airdrop, like all that stuff, that's what I'm looking forward to. So like Brian to me is like the most appealing side character outside of Jason and Lucia, but
I mean, speaking about characters coming back, that kind of feels very similar to Ron's role in GTA 5. So we could see Ron coming back again another time. That wouldn't shock me. I also was talking to my chat earlier and they were asking me the same question. I think like if it is another island state, whether it is or not, there's a lot of water around Leonida. Would be cool to see Pavel bring a submarine around to Leonida for a little heist later in the online season.
I don't know
reckon it'd be
why I
great to
feel
have
like
Pavel in there. Put him on the beach on like a beach chair or whatever, just kick him back, getting a tan, and that's
Yeah.
it. I'd be happy with that.
People love Pavel. People love him. So
I feel like
it'd be
their
good.
habit, at least going from 4 to 5, was to take characters we didn't see a lot of necessarily, or maybe we only saw them in DLCs or missions or something like that. And those are the ones that kind of get expanded upon in the next one.
Yep.
Like Gay Tony coming back, Yusuf Amir. I'd love to see Luis Lopez, man. Where's this dude? What's he up to? And I'm kind of in the boat of maybe there's a Lucia connection there. I've been saying that for a long time.
That's why I
Someone said
mentioned
Michael's
Amani earlier,
failing.
because I think Amani's one of those characters that is sort of has a small role in 5 Online, but could she's going to be another 6 years older, I think roughly by the time the game comes out. So she could be in a bigger role in Franklin's celebrity company. There could be a job down there. Amani's one that contacts you, comes down while Franklin's chilling back in Los Santos. Like that would be a really cool thing to do. There's a lot. They have so many characters they could bring back from 5 Online or 5 Story in general. We could get dozens, honestly. I don't think it'll be crazy, but they will definitely do some.
She went
gotta
to school with
remember-
real dimes.
who did?
I'm saying theoretically that could be a way that you bring Imani into the story. She's, the third dime.
Oh, the 3 dimes. I got a super chat from member Luke Devon for $2.99. First of all, thank you, brother. But he's asking, do you want a frame narrative prologue? Anybody? Nope.
You mean like North Yankton style?
Yeah, I assume.
Yeah, what do you mean
I
by
don't-
frame narrative?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we need
That
more
sounds like the
context on that.
question.
I thought
Think
maybe
so.
I was the only one that didn't understand that, so I was hoping that you guys would and somebody could take it. But
I think that's what it means. I think it's like,
yeah.
do you want a kind of boxed tutorial that's in the beginning that is not fully like you go right into the story in the same way, because we
Yeah.
sort of kind of did that in Red Dead 2 also, by being
Mhm.
like, oh man, that crazy thing happened, then we run up into the hills and go into the snow, and you're kind of stuck there for a little bit.
I didn't like that.
I think, yeah, I think
I don't
that,
mind it.
I
I guess
love
it means a
that.
story within a story structure. That's how I kind of looked it up.
yeah,
I don't know how that
Oh,
reaches
okay.
into it.
You
I'm
got to use
okay
small
with
words
it,
with
but
us, Luke. Sorry.
I'm okay
Yeah.
with it, like, but I also don't have a problem with like, let's see Lucia in Liberty City for a whole mission at the beginning or something like that. Like,
Yep.
that's just in that location and then you move on. It doesn't bother me, but it didn't hurt for us to be like, boom, stuck
Straight
in
into
Liberty.
it.
You're off into it and you can go to most of the city pretty early. I don't know if I have a strong feeling either way.
I
Yeah,
mean, depending on when, we don't know exactly when Lucia's in prison, jail. It could be the prologue, could be the thing that gets her stuck in jail in the first place. Her and Jason do a little job. She gets in there, then we skip 6 months in the future. She gets out, continue on. Like something like that would be very chill. Like I think it would work perfectly. But again, like I said, I loved GTA 4 just getting straight into the action as well. Both can work depending on how Rockstar do it, really.
yeah. Well, we've also got Cyberboy in the chat dropping a $4.99 dono. He said, "We'll come on the next one, boys. Big love."
Hey.
What's up, Cyber? Hope you're doing well, buddy.
Well, man.
Okay, so jumping over here, that was Bab that had the last one. This one's for Snarko. UGC guardrails. So we kind of talked about this a little bit, but I'm gonna let you expand on this if you'd like. Coming from RP and sim communities, which you've had a lot of experience in, what kind of guardrails should Rockstar put around user-generated content in GTA 6 so it stays on brand and safe without killing the creativity that makes RP servers and farm sims so much fun?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, trying to have moderation team for it is very important. If they don't have that, we know how that could go. Very negative quickly. And then Hip Hop Gamer, his point, that recent video saying it'll create millionaires, which is great. But like I said, we got to keep that for people that create high quality content. It's not going to be everybody. But people that actually want to put effort in something, it's great. Like I said, it's a new opportunity for people to come in if they don't want to go the YouTube route, or it's just a new stepping stone for this specific space of GTA, and it's to be exciting. I'm looking forward to it. I've come from a background of making about 1,500 mods over a 6-year period, so we're pretty versed on that, and have some plans to build some things, and it'll be pretty exciting. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You say
Awesome.
1,500 mods?
Yeah,
That's
all the
crazy.
vehicles and boats. So we take it from like a scratch 3D model, take it into Blender, fix it up, or rework it, and then we throw it into our own program called Giants Software's program, and it models it, and they do all the XML coding. I personally don't know how to do very, very difficult things. I have some people help me with that, uh, but it's tricky. You got to learn all the XML work, and if it doesn't work, it won't go into the game properly if you don't do the coding correctly, or it's very specific and detailed. So I suggest anybody looking to get into the space, learn and find your mentor, because it'll be very helpful, to save you some time and stress.
It's
So,
amazing what you can do in farm sim. It is absolutely amazing.
yeah. Well, like I said, this is a full circle moment for me. I started playing GTA 5 on the Xbox, and went to Farm Sim specifically just for the mods and the mod development, not really for farming. I actually farmed 5 times in that game, right? So going to that was just for that focus to build mods and learn all the different modeling and stuff to create vehicles that are real life brands. And then actually did dabble in a little bit of 5M stuff, which is cool, and had some fun of that, but it's an old game, so you're using a different platform. But yeah.
Mhm.
How do
Yeah.
you, if you don't mind me asking, because I'm curious about this, how do you feel about the conflict that inherently exists between like mainstream corporate entertainment and the conflict that arises between these brands? Like I said, I work on TV shows. If someone's wearing a Nike shirt, I got to put a piece
Right.
of black tape over it. We can't have that just
Oh,
because
so your
we've not
answer,
talked to Nike about it.
right? So your answer to that question would be, well, why does Nike not want that, or why does Rockstar take these name brands out of the game? Well, because we talked about, if a Ford F-450 drives down Vice City Beach and rams over a bunch of people, it's not great publicity. So they don't want that, and I don't blame them. Why would any brand want that? I think it'd be cool if we have some brands actually license and trust Rockstar a little bit more, because I think that it might be a little negative, but if there's a way to make it positive, like a branded interior in a house or something, like what are they going to do? They're not going to run over a pillow in a house, right? So,
But
maybe
don't you
adding
think it's
things-
more than just like, don't you think it's more of less of like a liable thing and more at this point of Rockstar protecting the specific like parody world that they've made and saying like,
That's
No,
what
no,
I
we'd
think.
rather
no,
we would
it's
rather have our version of those things, not just for safety, but because it's more fun to come up with another world rather than
right. So
repeat
you're
the
thinking
real
they want to
world.
have their own unique touch or their own world and not have any outside. No, it's not that at all. They would love to include every single brand on Earth because people would like it more. You know, like we saw that RP. Why did they go to RP?
I
Because
don't
they
know
could
if they
bring
would.
I don't agree with that as a fan.
I
I
don't.
like all the fake
Yeah.
brands and I
Okay.
don't
Well,
want
yeah,
the
it's
real
same.
products in mine.
Right.
Personally.
I think it'd be really
Here's what I'm gonna
weird.
say.
I think it'd be.
Go ahead, Dan.
I was gonna say, I think it'd be really weird to see Sprunk and then Coca-Cola next to each other. I think you either have one or the other. You have everything real or nothing real. I think mixing and matching. I think in an RP server like a 5M, I think go for it. In the base GTA game, I think it'd be really weird to have a Fister Comet next to an actual Lamborghini. You know.
Right. You can't mix.
I
them. You can't
agree. I
mix
have
and
no
match, but-
problem with it existing for everybody else in a specific server. But like one of the things
Right.
I love as like a lore guy, I like this alternate reality. I like the brands and all that kind of stuff
Right.
that Rockstar's come up with.
But their motive isn't to do it just to create their just specifically their own world. I feel like they would integrate some if they could, but like I said, the licensing is impossible for that. So either way, it won't work.
Yeah.
You know, there's really no way to
'Cause
do it.
I feel like once you start doing that, you start to go down the slippery slope that like Fortnite and stuff have had. I don't want to see Spider-Man in the game. I want to see
Yeah.
some parody of Spider-Man, you know? I don't want
Right.
all these weird celebrity real life things integrating the game. I want parodies of those things because that's what makes GTA so fun. It's what it's always been about. So I think if they start just putting real stuff in there, it takes a bit of the whimsy and fun out of the game for me personally.
They're lampooning America, not recreating it.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I say like with the UGC, you know, they can maybe give tools for that, right? And people can make that decision for themselves, you know, because like I said, RP had a very big viewer base, or player
Of
base. So
course.
if
I
we're going
totally
based
get
off
the
of-
drive to do it. And
Yeah.
like people are like, I want to drive a Ferrari. I totally get that. But I do think there's a huge player base, like we're kind of mentioning, Dan and I, of like, it's that lampooning, parody, comical, whimsy thing that
Right.
we're kind of
100%.
attracted to in the first place.
Yep.
Yeah,
it
well,
could go
we're
both
going
ways,
on
like
like
I said.
20 plus years of that too. You know what I mean? Like they've established
Exactly.
these
It'd be
brands
weird
over the
to change
course
it
of-
now.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I do like the idea of like UGC content and allowing you to kind of add that stuff in when you host custom servers and all that stuff and kind of make it your own. I think that's the whole point of UGC in the first place is, you know, letting people creatively express themselves and, you know, sort of creating the environment and giving us the tools in order to do that. But I have to go with these guys on this. I think you either do it all or you do none of it. And because they're not going to do it all, they're likely doing none of it. So,
Did you say the new terms of service removed stuff like that? Like, do you think that's even going to be in GTA 6 as an option, or is because it's 5M is now Rockstar 5M, are they even going to let you keep doing that?
Well, with the 5M, yeah, they made them remove all the name brands, but I don't think it was for the reason just because they want to have their own brands. I think it was for the reason for the legalities of it, right?
100%.
So yeah, so like I said, I'm actually on your guys' side with like keeping the cool like GTA branded things. I think that's great. You know, I don't actually want to go Coca-Cola over Sprunk, right? But I think if there was an option for UGC, it'd be cool. But you know, just very minimally. I don't know. That's my answer. But yeah, they did force them to remove it. Probably
Yeah,
because
I wonder if they'll be able to.
what's able to do what? Oh,
I wonder if that'll even be an option if Rockstar and 5M are tied the way they are. You said they've asked them to remove it. Like, will RP servers with a Lamborghini even be possible in this new game? I don't even know.
Yeah,
There'll
I don't
definitely be
know.
some companies that will be happy to be like. I wouldn't be shocked if like an OnlyFans would be so happy to have their brand in the game, you know. But
Yeah.
a more reputable company like a Lamborghini, like Coke, maybe Coke would be fine. I don't know. It is weird because I feel like once you start to introduce some of them, people start asking when you're going to introduce all of these things, and then you get to the point of like, oh, if this represents the real world, why is Trump not in the game? Why are the real wars not in the game? It becomes a bit of a like mix up of like what's real and what's not, and you have to sort of draw the line somewhere. I think it's easiest to draw the line. It's all parody. None of it's real.
I got a great idea for a name for an OnlyFans app in GTA. I call it Lonely Fans.
Go for it. Perfect.
Oh man, can you
That's
imagine
actually
all
not
the
a bad
NPC
IRL
feet pics?
suggestion.
Yeah, genuine. Genuinely. I think there'll be an OnlyFans type app or something in the game. Like that
I'm
has to
sure.
be.
Or some kind of like hookup app where you could just pick up these random
Yes.
NPCs that have like social media,
Yep.
pages and stuff. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what Tracy's up to now.
Maybe.
Ah.
Yeah.
Probably.
Maybe she started the app.
Yeah, well, she's non-existent right now in GTA 5.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the
I mean, maybe
video
that's what Laszlo did. Started up.
Wouldn't
guys
be
see the video of
surprised
the
if they're doing
11
some weird stuff. Sorry.
11 club owners in Miami? Like 919, the club in GTA6. They mentioned GTA6. They're doing a talk at like one of the universities or something, and they mentioned that they're in the game. Like, I don't know why they just brought it up randomly.
They made a fake trailer for their own YouTube account that like cuts together the trailer from GTA and stuff from their club. I actually went to that club in February. It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. There's a lot of different opportunities, I think, for tie-ins with real world things. And, we've been looking at the trailers and, especially the mapping project guys have found all kinds of stuff. I mean, Will, didn't you just post something out the other day about like a tower or something? Maybe that was somebody else that I'm thinking of, but people are finding more and more stuff, in the trailers and screenshots and stuff that's based on reality. And it makes me wonder exactly like how close to like 1-to-1 is it going to be in certain areas, like if you're from Miami or if you spent time in Miami, are you going to be able to drive up and down streets and be like, oh, wow, this is exactly like it is, or I'm sure they're going to do their own spin on it and stuff. But yeah, it's interesting to think about.
It's that way out here. I moved.
It's like that in Los Angeles, yeah.
Yeah, I moved to LA in 2016, 3 years after I'd been playing GTA 5. And I was like, whoa, like I know my way around already.
Really? Is that close, huh?
Yeah. I mean, it's all condensed, right? Like Richard's Majestic is one film studio and there's like 8 of them out here, like those film lots. Like everything is bigger, but I literally live in Mirror Park and it's not that it's condensed, but it feels the same.
Yeah.
Everybody knows where you live, man.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, don't worry. Hey, watch my streams. You'll find out a lot. Too much, probably.
I went there. I can't remember what year, but it was after GTA release, and I was just like blown away by how like 1-to-1 it like in some areas it really is. Like walking over the bridge that goes over the highway to the beach is like genuinely 1-to-1 exact. A lot of the strip is 1-to-1 exact. It's quite impressive. And if
Del Perro
Miami
to Santa Monica is
it's the same.
Yeah.
So like Vice City, the city is going to be bigger than what Los Santos was. So even more of it is going to be pretty similar, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I think it's really once you get out to the countryside is where they condense a lot. Like the mountains are not that close to the city in LA, not like that intensely. And it's not an island, obviously, but in general, they do a pretty good job at keeping it quite similar. Like, I don't know about the New York map, like Liberty City. I don't know how similar that is.
It's pretty close.
I imagine it's quite good. I imagine it's quite good, yeah.
Yeah, especially that Times Square area. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a question for you, Link. If Rockstar starts pushing more immersive sim mechanics, like proper stealth, break-ins, disguises, hacking, that kind of stuff, where do they stop from it feeling like GTA and starts feeling like a different kind of game, like a Hitman or something like that? Like, how far would you want them to go as far as like, disguises or hacking or breaking in and things like that? Stealth.
I definitely think they could go a bit further than they have right now. I've always complained that the stealth system, that's a tongue twister, stealth system in GTA 5 is quite poor. It's really odd because sometimes, like the way the vision works in games, I understand they need to have a limit on what guards can see, otherwise stealth becomes kind of near impossible. But sometimes it just feels almost too easy, and then at some other random points, it will instantly become too hard. There's like very like no in between for difficulty. I feel like a lot of people say GTA is difficult, like new viewers that come to chat, people haven't played it before, but realistically, a lot of the stealth is very, very simple. I think they could tune it up quite a bit more. I remember back playing Modern Warfare 2, the stealth missions in the campaign are some of the most fun I've had in gaming. Like, not No Russian, the snow mission, I can't remember the names of them, but those missions are super fun. And in those missions, you don't have a mini-map like GTA, you can't see where the guards are looking, it's more based on vibes. You take them out with a suppressor very quickly, like we do in the Diamond Casino heist and stuff like that. But it's a lot more difficult. There's less time for error. You have to be a lot more what's the word? You have to understand sort of where they're seeing rather than just seeing the blue cone on the map and knowing exactly where to go and where not. I think there's a lot of systems they can improve in. I think break-ins and heists are something that should be able to be done almost in the free world as well, not just in an instanced mission. I'd love to be able to pull off like little bank heists, like the fleece banks that are scattered around the map. Not just the convenience stores, because they were cool day one. 12 years on, they're useless. I'd like to be able to steal the banks. I think you should be able to rob from a lot more different places because it's a game about stealing. I think just having cars in the convenience stores is a bit lackluster. So I do think they could push it a lot further. Where the like line is drawn for how extreme you want it to get, I'm not sure. I do always think that GTA should stay a lot more arcadey simulation rather than super intense realism. Like, I don't think we need Watch Dogs level hacking stuff. I think that's a bit too intense.
Yeah.
But I do think the hacks should be more varied, more difficult in a lot of different situations. The stealth should have a lot more room for error. I also think this is going to a bit of a different topic, but I think the stats in GTA, you know how you have like strength, stealth, driving, flying. I think those need to be more interesting. I think the stealth, instead of just having a bar that progresses from 0 to 100, you should have different, like, I don't want to go as far to say as abilities because maybe that's too much of an RPG mechanic, but I do think the stealth, leveling up your stealth should really significantly change how you're able to attack a stealth mission. Like if you have 0 stealth, I don't think you should be able to complete a Diamond Casino silent and sneaky heist because you're just that bad at it. Whereas if you're 100, you should be able to do it almost like every time with ease because your character is clearly good at doing that. I think there should be more significant like focus on what the stats actually mean to your character and your gameplay. And like that's more of an element I'd like to see improved on.
Do you want to see like
how does that
RPG?
affect things other than movement noise? Like if your
I don't
stealth
think it does.
is high, what else does that affect?
Like I think it could, like in the current game nothing, but I think in the future it could be like at the moment when you're sneaking you can only go a certain pace. Maybe you can sneak at a lot faster speed without making as much noise. So instead of having to go super slowly through everything, you can run through something, which could give you the ability to skip like a camera detecting you, or skip a guard's walking path, so you can do the heists faster. So the more you level up, not only are you doing the heists easier, but you're doing them quicker as well, which is like an incentive to actually train that stat. Because as well with the sneak stat, you only train it by sneaking. So if you don't really do it that much, it doesn't like level up at all. So it'd give you more incentive to actually train the stats. Like the strength stat in GTA Online, there's genuinely not a reason to train it. I think it like makes you climb ladders faster or something like that. Like it's
Your
pretty much
punches are
useless.
supposed to be more powerful, but I'm not even sure
Yeah,
that that's
like-
it's marginal.
No, it's like it's nothing at all. So having those actually mean something and change the way your character works throughout the progress of your account would be really cool. Like, yeah,
Are you excited
I
for
don't
the
know exactly
Hitman,
what the line is.
James Bond First Light? Are you excited for that game? No?
What?
Yes.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
I'm-
ask
I'm
Dan if he
looking
was
forward-
excited for
oh.
James Bond game. Seems like that's a good
Oh,
game.
James Bond game?
Yeah, the First Light. You ever heard of it?
Didn't even know a thing was coming out. No.
Oh, well, it's like a very stealthy. I thought that'd be your number one for ours, number 2 for the year.
It might be now. They have notified me.
There's some stuff on that. I would
Um,
go check that out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like kind of like
Possibly,
what
yeah.
you're describing, like more detailed
Yeah.
stealthness to it, and
Well-
like I was gonna say, less shooting right at you as soon as you walk through the door. I hate that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree. I would like to be able to like. I really hate the stealth missions in games that sort of force you down a funnel of what you have to do to complete the mission. Like,
Mm.
I think they did it a little bit better with Kaya Perico and the Diamond Casino heist, where you do have multiple ways you can do things. But in all the other heists leading up to that, you do everything the exact same every single time. Like in some missions, there's stealth missions, but you have to kill to complete it. Why can't I get an EMP device for every mission and do everything in blackout and get through without killing anyone? I think there's so many more interesting and unique ways they could set up different missions and heists within the game that I'm sure they will do. I've always said like they're all the good stuff they're going to be saving for the new game now. They're not going to put it in GTA 5. So we can hopefully have that expectation that there will be more ways to approach things, more things to rob in free roam. You know, just in general, I think there will be a higher level of sophistication if you want it. I don't think you should have to use the higher quality sophistication hacks stealth approaches if you don't want to. They should be there for the players that want a different experience or more difficult experience, for example.
Would you rather
Yeah.
have like an expansion on the current stat system, or would you rather see more like RPG perk system kind of elements added to the game?
Personally, I would like the RPG elements because I love RPG games. Like Skyrim is one of my favorite games of all time. I love the stat trees. I don't think it needs to go that extreme because I think it takes away from what GTA is at its core. But GTA is also an RPG, and the stats basically mean nothing. Like every 20% your driving gets a bit better. Cool. Well, like no one really cares. It would be cool if once you get to 100 on driving, maybe you're able to use Franklin's special ability in online or something along those lines. Like give you an actual reward for leveling up your stats. Right now, it barely makes a difference whatsoever. The only real important stat, in my opinion, is the health stat because you get killed instantly at level 1 and you can survive much better at level 100. Give me more of a reason to level those up. And also, in terms of an RPG character, having different characters that can do different roles in the game would be really cool. Like if you're doing a heist with 3 of your other friends, have one person build their character to be the gunner, have one of them build their character to be a good getaway driver, a good hacker. You know, that's kind of the whole system we have in story mode where you pick a hacker, driver, gunman. Why can't we do that with our online characters as well?
I think they wanted to do that a little bit when they first were introducing the heist stuff, and they were putting in, like in the first series of heists in 2015 when you had roles, right? And it was like, you're going to be the driver, you're going to be that. I think they kind of wanted to do that and have people have their specialties and things like that. I agree with you. I think the skills and a number of other systems didn't really function right to have that be the case. Like I love like flying helicopters and stuff like that. I'm trying to be the helicopter getaway dude in every heist if possible. But then I'm playing with people who like can't shoot. And I'm like, I guess I got to be the guy who shoots because that's the people that are there.
Yeah, like say if you build your character more towards being a gunman, maybe you get a better auto aim than someone else. Or if you build your character to be the pilot, you can get away quicker, you can land easier. Like, I understand for some people they might want to do it all, have all your stats be perfect, but I think it might be more fun for the longevity of the game, for playing with friends, for playing with others, to have specific roles for heists. You don't need to make it so extreme. You don't need to make someone who's a pilot absolutely miserable at shooting, but I do think there should be slight differences in the skill or ability of the character to make those
Make it
roles
take
more
longer to
worth
get
doing.
there.
Yeah.
Like you really have to do a fair amount of piloting and getaways and all that kind of stuff before you do get to that 100 in skill ability.
Yeah, or you
Yeah,
could
I've always
start
said
your
the
character could
progression-
start with just like a bonus in one particular area. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like in the character
I mean,
builder, you get to pick a thing you start as.
Yeah, we kind of have that, but then you end up just getting them all to max eventually anyways. I've always said one of my biggest complaints, and this is coming from a person who loves MMOs, so it's a bit of a different style of game, but I think GTA also is an MMO. I've had this discussion. I think it is. I do think that the progression in GTA is really bad because, you know, you do Diamond Casino, you can do it at level 1 with all your stats at minimum. In terms of the in-story context, you're level 1, you've never even robbed a convenience store before. All your stats suck. You can't shoot a gun, you can't drive, you can't do stealth. How are you doing this heist on the most well-protected casino in the country? It doesn't make logical sense. You should have to get your stealth to level 6 out of 10 or something before you can even attempt the heist, in my opinion. I think it'd be more immersive. I think it'd be more fun. It lets you do the easier content first before going straight to Kaya Perigo every time on every new account and getting bored after a week. Stuff like that would be really cool to see.
We just did that yesterday.
I've got a couple super chats I got to get to, gentlemen. So I've had one from Meeks, Mr. Meeks himself. We were playing with him yesterday, $13.99. Thank you, brother. He said, great job, guys. How's it feel knowing we are closer to the date, knowing it's been a long wait? Also, I kind of had the same feeling, like, what if Rockstar started the marketing with the hacker? So who was that was saying that earlier? Was that you, Snarko? Or Will? Or no, it was Will. It was Will saying that. So I guess you're not alone in that, Will. So, and then we got one from Greg, Mr. Greg Schumacher, Moneyman himself, with a $20 dono. Says GTA 6 needs to have much better, more refined stealth system, complete with the ability to go into a prone position.
Yes.
We should be able to break into buildings also, like in San Andreas, but better than ever before. I'm with you. I think, yeah. and this is one of the things I was going to ask you guys about, as far as like, you know, the amount of buildings we're going to be able to enter. I don't know who got the question or where. I think we're so far off script at this point. We might just open it up to chat here in a minute. But it, you know, with the amount of buildings that we may be able to go into, do you think that's going to include like residential houses? And if so, do you think we're going to be able to like go in and like steal TVs and, you know, like the PlayStation consoles or jewelry and that kind of stuff? I mean, you
That'd be cool.
kind of had that in Red Dead Redemption 2. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we were able to go in and like loot people's houses and stuff, or at least some of the
Started
houses,
in San Andreas.
Yeah, well, yeah,
I hope they do
obviously.
that, 'cause that was really big in San Andreas. That is what I would spend a lot of time doing, breaking into the houses, trying to like tiptoe around, trying not to alert the
Mhm.
people that are living there. I think that would be a lot of fun. Plus, in online, like with people as well, trying to both of you to be quiet. You know, I think that'd be fun.
Oh, it'd be great.
And bring back crouch as well. I think that's what we need. Greg said prone. I agree with prone.
Yeah,
I just want
crouch prone. I
'Cause
want
I
to move
hate
an
it how you
overhaul
just punch your
personally.
back over it. Yeah. I just
Yeah.
hate it
Yeah,
at
I
the
thi-
moment.
I think the movement is really limited in GTA 5. It's like there's like nothing you can do with your character. Even just trying to
Yeah.
walk in a circle is difficult for whatever reason. They need to add, yeah, proning. I think you should be able to jump on the spot, not just like jump forward like awkwardly or climb things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prone, like all that stuff should be in the game. Absolutely.
Yeah. Directional
I
jump
like what you
system.
I like what you said about being able to rob, like fleece a bank in free mode. Like I agree
Yeah.
with the only free mode thefts that we're allowed to do, like you said, are the convenience stores and like stealing cars.
Yep.
I would love to see more dynamic theft related activities in free mode, whether it's houses or banks or whatever. Like we don't always have to go into a separate session and stage a
Yes.
heist to
Right.
rob things. Theft is like
Yeah,
one
I
of
did-
the 3 words in the title.
Yeah.
I did a whole video which was 10 hours of me playing only in the free world, so no going indoors, like no going indoors that's a separate instance, and no going into an instance mission. And there was a really limited amount of stuff you can actually do in the free world. It's robbing the fleecer job, it's robbing the convenience store, sorries. It's doing like time trials, it's killing other players, it's stealing cars, which like can get you entertained for a while. But yeah, why not banks? Why not houses? I think the houses, I haven't played San Andreas, which I know is probably sacrilege for a GTA creator. I didn't know that robbing houses was a thing. I think it'd be so cool if like you rob houses and there's like a 1 in 1,000 chance that house has like $1 million sitting in a safe somewhere. And if you get lucky enough,
Really
you
cool
get a
star.
massive payout.
Yeah.
Well, here's
Yeah.
what we know. We know that there's a looting system. We know that you can put stuff in duffel bags. We know that there are pawn shops. I mean, those 3 things combined, you know, I don't know.
Perfect.
And we know that there's going to be more enterable buildings. So, and we know they've
And
done it
nicer
before.
houses, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Could be a lot
And
of
in
nice
Red Dead
houses.
Redemption 2
Nice.
kind of had a little bit of like a looting system with opening drawers and stuff like that. So like I think it might be there. I think that might be like a tenable way of making some money on the side, you know, going and stealing some stuff from somebody's house and hitting up the local pawn shop when you get low on funds.
I'm gonna
Well, like what about
add one idea. I was gonna say boats too, because if you guys know Miami, there's a lot of boats and yachts. I mean, you think of
Mhm.
robbing a boat, that'd be pretty cool, you know?
yeah.
And nicer
To add on
places,
to that-
higher security.
Absolutely, yeah, more stealth.
Very good
You know,
point.
cameras you have to get past and everything. I was gonna add on one thing. I don't know if this happens in story. I haven't played it in ages, but in GTA Online, occasionally when you rob a car, you'll get a bounty on you for like $9,000 because the NPC is mad you stole their car. What about stealing a car or a boat, and instead of getting the bounty, you hold that NPC for ransom, and you can get a bigger payout by giving their car back to them. You get a waypoint on the map, give it back to them, you
Yeah,
get $50,000
The
or
terms have
something. You know?
tabled. I like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We
You're
also know that
inspired by the
Jason-
ransom demand from this morning.
Or kidnapping.
Possibly, yeah. Might be on my mind.
Yeah, if we
I'm
can
also in the
can you imagine if we could throw
2022
somebody in a trunk? Sorry, go ahead, Will.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. In the 2022 leaks, there was that clip of Jason in the pawn shop, and we saw it kind of flash up for a second where you could see he can. It looks like he can see valuables. So I mean, that would naturally go with home robberies, free mode, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
hard to
do you
tell at
think
this
that
point.
Jason,
Go ahead.
sorry. I was gonna say, do you think Jason or Lucia might have, for their special ability, if we get that system back, might have like a Geralt from Witcher, like, where they can see valuables if they hold down a button, or like see like glowing up, like if a house looks like it has security or stuff on it? Do you think that could be a feature to help like scan a pawn shop for high value items?
Well, That was kind of a thing in the leaks where they went in there and
Yep.
literally done exactly that. So I
Yeah.
think it is
Gotcha.
in the game.
Okay. Got you.
I don't think it's
I
specific
stayed away
to
from the
either
leaks
character.
as much as possible.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's probably good that we do that. But I think I don't think it's specific to either character. I feel like it's for both of them. Some people say it's only a
Gotcha.
Jason ability, but I don't know. I feel like it's both.
Yeah, and I don't know if the pawn shops are there for us to steal from the pawn shops, or if the pawn shops are there for us to steal and take to the pawn shops, or if both are true.
Why not both?
You know?
Why
Yeah,
not both?
I think
you
they're
know,
both,
so
yeah.
Stores.
We go, we fill up the shop with stock, and then the next day we come back and steal it.
it's double dipping.
Yeah,
It's
so
like
maybe
picking up a
even-
prostitute, and then, you know.
Maybe even you can build up like good reputation. Maybe you can like build up good reputation with a certain pawn shop owner, and he'll buy your stuff for a higher price than the other ones will. So you steal from the others and
Yeah.
keep selling to him over and over.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
good.
that'd be fun. And you know, I wonder how dynamic it'll be if they start to catch on, or you know, if like you take
Yeah.
something and steal it from one guy, take it to another guy. He's like, I know this is stolen. You know, I'll give you 30% less. I hated that in
You think that
what
you
was
can
that
sell
game?
parts, or no, like parts of cars, or how detailed do you think they'll
Yep.
get with that?
Top shop it.
It's a- Yeah,
Yeah,
like
maybe.
boats and
Op
stuff.
shop
You
and
know,
cars, yeah.
remember the shot when they were like welding something? I mean, they could have been fixing it, but I'm just saying like parting up stuff and selling it. You know, that could be a side.
Yeah, I
gig.
mean we kind of have that with the salvage yard and online. So if they expand upon that system, it kind of works.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You said the
mean, how
bounties
well-
thing that happens in GTA Online where you steal the car and then you get like a text that's
Yeah.
like, you took my car, here's 10 grand. How about they come
Mhm.
find you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They
GPS
track you
locators?
down
Yeah.
actually, and then out of
More detailed
nowhere,
RPG, Yeah.
an NPC grabs you and it's like, you know, you stole from me, and that would be cool.
Mhm.
It is Florida.
Well, I don't.
I
How
mean,
familiar? They will do it. They'll bring
Yeah.
an alligator. How familiar are you guys with the Nemesis system? I think it was from like Mordor, Shadows,
Yep.
Shadows of something Mordor.
Yeah.
The game from Lord of the Rings.
very.
It kind of sucks that is it Ubisoft that copyrighted it,
Yes.
the system. It kind of sucks they did that because I think having like a Nemesis type of system will like maybe, like you said, one of the victims of the vehicle you stole tracks you down. And if you keep stealing from them again and again, they get more and more mad at you and keep putting on bigger bounties, keep bringing more alligators to come and find you. Or you even have a cop that becomes your nemesis over time. That would have been really cool to see. And maybe Rockstar can still get around it. Something similar to that system would be really cool. Just to have characters build up a reputation and relationship with you over the course of your playthrough. Basically,
actually
would be
Warner
a great
Brothers.
system.
Warner Brothers games.
Yeah, sorry.
They hold the patent, and it lasts until 2036. So maybe not GTA 6, but maybe GTA 7.
GTA 7?
Yeah.
Dan, TGG wants to know why you keep talking about porn shops.
Yeah, I just responded. Let a man have his interests. Just let me be, man.
That's funny. Is he in here? I didn't even see him in the chat. I've been trying to
Yeah, he
keep
just
up
sent
with.
a chat.
Okay. Oh yeah, we got another one from Greg. Another $10 donation here. I just thought GTA 6 story mode and online should allow us to build fortresses. We should own a property where we can build a razor wire fence around it and have guard towers and guard booth and main gate. I love that
Now
idea.
that's
be awesome.
Florida.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Yeah. It would be cool to like upgrade your, you know, like you buy a house or you buy a property somewhere and you upgrade the defenses. Maybe you have security cameras installed or barbed wire fences or stuff like that. But
Mhm.
that would also mean that you could maybe get raided by other players or something. I don't know how they
Rob
do
other
that, but-
players. Yeah,
Yeah, they can
exactly.
rob
That'd be
your
great.
house.
Yeah.
I mean, we
That
saw
would-
the mansions come out recently, and while the mansions are cool, like we were talking about customization for vehicles like ages ago, customizations for houses are very lackluster. Being able to do stuff like
Yeah.
that and really build your own place would be incredible.
Yeah.
I
We
made a
mean,
video about that.
You
So
go ahead,
I
Ben.
think it'd be really cool for them to actually have like a full-on creator sort of thing in your apartment where you can change things around. You can move couches wherever you want because it's your property. Change what they
Yep.
look like, change the wall colors, the flooring, all of that stuff, and then no one's house would really feel like the same house. Like you go to your friends, it's completely different to yours, and it's not the same
Yeah.
interior over and over. Same floor plan, that's fine, but like the actual insides can be different. I think that would open up a lot of freedom to the player.
Do you want individual
Diamond
control over
Casino.
like placement? Or are you talking
Yeah.
like choose
Yes.
a layout from a list, or like how deep would you want that to go?
There's like 3 each now.
I wouldn't mind it if you just could have full customization over anything. You can pick up an object, you can drag it around like your couch, move it. I don't want it in this room anymore. I'm dragging it. It's over here now, and that's where it stays, and it just saves there. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
or
like
at the
The
minimum,
Sims.
at least have like 5 different slots for where a couch can go, and you put it in one of those 5. At the minimum, having something like that would be good. Full
Yeah.
customization, I don't know how difficult it would be for them to build out their entire system just for houses, if they even care enough to do it.
Yeah.
But it would be sick. Because if they want GTA to be this massive game that people are going to basically live in, like, I know a lot of RP people like have jobs in the game, basically. They're basically having a second life in there. Why can't you have your own house that you've completely decorated, you know?
Because then people wouldn't go outside anymore, and that's just not healthy. You know?
We don't already.
Gotta get some
don't worry.
grass under your feet, man.
Exactly. I can't remember the last time I touched grass.
I was gonna say
Well,
like the Diamond Casino. I feel like that's kind of they did a good job with that. You know, if you walk into your friend's penthouse, it's definitely noticeably different.
Yeah.
You know, but the
You can
maintenance
change like
maintenance
different props that are around. You can buy
Right,
individual
exactly.
items as well. So you have something that your friend doesn't have, change the paintings
Yeah.
as well. I think all that stuff's really sick. And then even in like the other businesses where you get certain awards, like in the agency, you get certain awards for completing certain missions or whatnot. I think they would be really cool, like exclusive things that only you can get because you've went through and done that progress. Like your friends can do it too, but I think those sort of things are really cool.
Yep.
Yeah. I want to do. I do have some community questions, specifically from people in my community. That I've had this roundtable, question list growing on my Discord for a while now, and there's some really good questions in there. I wanted to maybe get to some of those while we still have some time. Which, by the way, we're running about 2 hours now. Is anybody pressed for time? Has anybody got to bail anytime soon? I want to be mindful of everybody's
I'm all good.
time.
I'm all
Okay.
good.
All right, cool. So this question is from Bruce, and I'm going to ask Bav, do you think the online mode for GTA 6 will keep the passive mode? Do you want a passive mode, or would we rather there be other ways to combat griefing other than the passive mode?
I feel like they will do a passive mode again, probably a bit similar to what they've done with Red Dead, where you can choose to be offensive or defensive, I think is what you can do. But I think they will have something so that other players can't grief you. Like if you just want to travel around the map, you can do that in a public session with other people. Like it's why people go into private sessions, because they get grief. They don't want that. They don't want to deal with it. So I think they will implement something to stop griefing. And I think, yeah, the Red Dead system might be the way they go with that.
Yeah, well, and the next question I'm actually going to ask, I think, is maybe a possible solution to that. And this is for Dan. Would you like the new online mode to have the option? This is from T Burton, by the way. Shout out T Burt. Would you like the new online mode to have the option of no player blips unless you're in a group or party? So when you're out running around, you can come across other players organically, and someone can't just fly across the map hunting other players.
I love this one.
If you party your group up with other people, you can see where they're at on the map.
Yeah, I agree.
I think
I think it'd be really
that'd
good.
be an amazing feature.
Yeah, and instead of calling up Lester to hide off the radar, you're not calling him anyways, but you would call up and reveal all players for like a minute. I think flip it around the other way if you want to see people. But I think having no visibility on where anyone else is much better. Prevents griefing. You don't know where people are. They're doing their own thing, and I think that'd be a really good system.
Yeah, almost like calling in a UAV on COD. Get to see everyone for a minute.
Exactly like
I think it'd also be great for like doing like little game modes like hide and seek. Currently, you have to get your viewers like turn off the mini map and just trust them. Whereas like if you do that system, it's already off in the first place. I do think another solution to the passive mode issue, and this is a solution I've talked about a lot, is having dedicated servers for different activities. Basically, like as an MMO player, RuneScape is my favorite game of all time. There's 300 servers that all have different activities depending on what you want to do. There's a PvP server. There's a server for just doing group missions together. There's a role-playing server. Why can't we have a server that all the PvP players can go PvP on there? All the people that just want to do car meets can go to the car meet server. All the people that want a generic GTA Online experience go to the general server. Anything goes. Have one server where it's passive mode for everyone. You can't attack other players, just do your work and get on with it. I think that would be incredible, because it would mean that you wouldn't have to go to an invite-only session to not deal with griefers. You just go to the passive server. You can still interact with other players. It still feels like an alive world, but you're not getting pissed off every 2 seconds,
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be a good solution for that. Now, I, admittedly don't have nearly as much time in the online as you guys do, but I did play a lot of Red Dead Online. And that is one of the most frustrating things is like modders and cheaters and griefers,
Yeah.
and like
Mhm.
you're out riding your horse and out of nowhere you're on fire, you fall off your horse, and then you stand up and you're standing in a cage with a bear, and it's just like it becomes so annoying that you can't even do anything about it. Even passive mode, I don't think saves you. You have to like physically leave the lobby and come back. So they need to like
Yep.
come up with new ways to combat that, and I hope they do. I mean, they have to know that that's one of the biggest problems with online, and addressing that issue, and also moving away from things like the Mark II oppressor and like
Yeah, of
these
course.
other things that just like
Definitely.
make it so easy
know
for
what they
people
did.
to be griefers. Yeah, I mean, who was that? Somebody was talking recently about how they thought Rockstar was that UVPA talking about how Rockstar was encouraging, that sort of behavior, that sort of toxic, or maybe that was somebody else. I don't know. I saw that somewhere. Somebody was talking about how Rockstar, is likely encouraging sort of toxic behavior to, get players to engage or fight each other more. That's why you appear on the map, and that's why you have the Mark II oppressor, and that's what, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think
Yeah,
the
we talked about this
original
before, too.
intent was to create free mode dynamics where some people are trying to get things done and other people are incentivized to get in the way. But I think that very much got out of control because I don't think they anticipated how many people would want to just like RP a business. Like some
Yeah.
people just want to do their MC businesses and run them like little businesses in the game. And yeah, they're willing to take on NPCs or maybe a low grade player trying to chase them on a motorcycle. But no, like you should not get 30 grand in the game for flying a jet in and blowing up someone's thing. Like even if there's some kind of canon reason that makes sense, it's just not good gameplay. And to Dan's point, even if you can't pick the server, start tracking a little bit low key, like player behavior. If
Yeah.
you've never griefed and you've been playing the game for like 3 years, you shouldn't even encounter other people who play the game like that. Like just
You know who
sort
does that
me
perfectly?
into another server.
Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders does
that
that
right?
exact thing. Yeah. Like, so when Arc Raiders first launched, everybody was like kind of killing each other and all that stuff. And then the community kind of divided in these two separate communities of people that were like friendly and wanted to like cooperate, and then the more toxic communities. And the matchmaking sort of learns your play style and places you in that certain category. So like me, for example, I tend to be a little bit more toxic when I play Arc Raiders, but when I play with my buddy Swabby, I jump over into his servers and he's all pissed off because then he's thrown into, these more toxic lobbies. He's used to just like, oh, hey man, don't shoot, which actually brings me to another point. How big of a deal would prox chat be in GTA Online?
Yes.
Do we
Oh,
like
yeah,
that
awesome.
idea?
I love it.
We need it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, like, dude, I feel like it's come a long way, and it would be easy, relatively easy for them to implement that. I mean, like, that's almost like a necessity, I feel like, at this point.
Literally,
That's in Red
every
Dead
time me and
Online,
you have
right?
been playing Sav with prox chat, it's fun no matter what the game is. Like just the chat in general, it's a lot of fun, and it's going to create so many like unique interactions with people that I feel
Yeah.
like it needs to be in this game.
Well, when you have
I
games
do
that do it
think-
well, like Arc Raiders or Repo, with the echoing and based on the room you're in and how it sounds, I mean, it really adds to the immersion, makes
dynamic,
it a
yeah.
more fun experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we're all old enough to remember gaming before Discord became huge. Like, everyone would just talk in lobbies. It doesn't happen as much anymore unless you're on, like, an
Right.
RP server where that's kind of the intention. You hop into a COD game or GTA that does have voice chat, technically, basically no one ever talks in game. Everyone's on Discord with their friends or just silent. So, putting in, like, proximity chat and making that a big feature of the game, I think would bring, like, the community back together in a big way, which would be amazing. It'd be great for content creators making like little like people who
Oh,
do like
yes.
trolling vids or just community
like
stuff. It'd be
sneak up on
amazing.
people.
Yep. And
Oh,
it gets rid of
it'd be
the
incredible.
the full lobby voice chat of screaming and all that stuff, So it's like
Yes.
prox chat, you just get to talk to people near you. So it really eliminates the problems there.
And make it more difficult
like-
streaming in public lobbies, though, because you'd have to know that if somebody is, especially the bigger your channel is, you're going to have stream snipers, and they're going to come up to you in public lobbies, and they're going to say something that's probably going to get you demonetized. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Like,
that could be a
when you
problem.
talked about the
Friends only.
you talked
That'd
about
be
the
cool.
streamer mode earlier.
Yeah.
You just put
Oh,
on
yeah.
streamer
Oh,
mode and you turn that
that's
off,
true.
I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, that
Yeah.
would be
But,
good.
like having the proximity chat alongside the no blips and the minimap thing you were suggesting earlier, you come across a player extremely organically just talking to a stripper or something, and you're like, what's going on here? I gotta check it out.
Yeah.
It makes us all feel like NPCs. Like it feels like you're
Yeah.
just coming upon it in the game.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, I feel like that would
I
be
agree.
huge. And there's somebody in the chat, the Ronnie Pickering, that added to that. He said, or maybe blips appear on the map if you're in that local region in game, so that someone on the opposite side of the map, flying a jet or something, can't see you, but nearby players can, so you can interact. I don't mind that either. I mean, I think that would be better than what it is right now. But just the ability to, like, in some of these, like, even like in the vanilla game, before we get into like UGC and mods and stuff, the ability to, you know, in the lobby, go into a lobby that is either like has the map toggled off or the map toggled on, so you could choose like where you want to play or what you're involved in. Like they've got to come up with a way to eliminate that, and I think that that would be a good solution. So
See, I think it'd be cool if, as far as like mentioning the streamer, like if you're streaming and then a person comes up in proxy chat and says something crazy, they could almost do like an expanded version of like the mental state in GTA Online and almost like start flagging certain people that say wild stuff, and you actually, it shows in game that that's like a toxic player even in voice chat.
That censorship gets really specific to moderate though, because now you're going like, what is the thing that you say that gets you moderated? And that could be different in different places. Like there's a certain C word they like to use in Australia that's not as big a deal as it is here.
That's a good word.
I'm not against the word. I'm just saying you start shouting it in Los Angeles over here, you're going to get a different reaction is all I'm saying.
well, it depends on the accent.
You guys
I feel like
different. You say it weird, I will say.
I don't say it at all. I'm trying not to get smacked in the mouth.
it is treated much differently over here, but what I will say is, like, when you have a nice accent and it rolls off the tongue, it just sounds a little bit better. Here, you know, a random guy from the Midwest saying the C word, you're gonna get backhanded. You know? It's just how it works. But no, I agree with that. So I've got another
with their censorship. With their censorship, sorry, Sav.
No, you're good.
They are getting way too strict with that, because now the word bogan has been restricted. So now I've got to think about my future, because I can't.
Really? Why?
I can't use that. Apparently, it's offensive. It's literally just like an Australian
Hillbilly,
redneck, really.
like,
exactly.
Redneck, yeah.
That's how I came up with the name. When the Independence Day update came out, you could get a mullet. So I'm like, yeah, I'm doing that. And then I felt like a bogan, but you know, redneck. So I changed the name to Bogan, and that's how it came. Bogan Bav.
That's wild. That's not even a word here. See, that's what I'm talking about.
I know.
Yeah.
And I went into my my office and it just said N organization. I'm like, that's not my name. That's not what it was.
Just hey, just put a D in there. Be Bogdan Bav. Reference yourself in the game.
Yeah, they'd love that. Do it. I keep getting called that. I'm sure they're about to start in chat right now with Boner Bav as well.
Yeah, that's been my favorite adaptation of your name so far. Wank Van Dan and Boner Bab. I'm putting that in the stream VOD title of it. We're live streaming with Wank Van Dan and Boner Bab.
Call me Ian Games. That's what they would say.
That's great.
With the Y there. Yeah.
I love it.
Twist it up.
I've got another community question from Moose, and this one is for Rob. What features do you think Jason and Lucia will have to make them seem more human to you?
This is so interesting to me, and you sent me this earlier, and I thought on this a lot. I think what makes them seem more human is kind of an interesting question. I was talking to my wife last night about the difference between a few different TV shows, and I was talking about why Breaking Bad is so famous and good, because they set out to do a thing that had never, Vince Gilligan, who made the show, and he's very publicly said this, he set out to do a thing that had never been done with a TV show before, which was take the protagonist from someone that you like and you understand and you get along with, all the way to someone that you're like, I think he needs to be punished for doing a bunch of terrible things. Normally, when you have a protagonist in any story, and mostly mainstream television and film, the biggest gamer in the world, so I'm sure someone can shout out an exception. But you start off with someone, like take Arthur, for example, right? This is a guy who's done a lot of bad things, and over the course of the story of Red Dead 2, he learns more about how to be a better guy, or he leans into being a bad dude like he kind of always has been. And those are your two kind of linear paths that you can go through. And you get two different endings based on how you choose to do that. I think it would be great to have a dynamic with Jason and Lucia where, because there are particularly two of them and they seem to have a romantic relationship, we start off rooting for them to be together. And we're like, man, they're obviously so in love, or they have these obstacles or whatever. and more towards the end of the story, where like they need to not be together. They're making everything worse. The more that they're together, the more their love happens, the more they cause pain or destruction or death, or characters that you really liked get killed because they had to keep their relationship together. Because first of all, that's a very human thing. I know we all know people, if it's not you, that have been in relationships where the people around them are like, oh my God, you guys are so toxic. Like, you need to break up. This is terrible. And we've never had a serious romantic relationship in a Grand Theft Auto game before, ever. It's always either been a joke or something that's already over. Mary, Amanda, anytime we've ever almost Tanisha, literally every single time there's a romantic interest, it's two-dimensional, or it's flat, or it's already done and we're dealing with the aftermath. This is the first time that we actually get to watch a romantic relationship, hopefully, go through the ringer of sorts. And I would love to see it not just be this like Bonnie and Clyde, we're in this together, and you know, Thelma and Louise off into the distance. Like, boring, in my opinion. I'm not gonna be that mad if that's what they do, because it would kind of make sense with everything they've done in the past. But if they really want to provide a human character that we really give a shit about, if you want that RDR2 like tearjerker ending to GTA 6, there needs to be something deeply tenuous between the two of them, where a choice has to be made, or you're rooting for almost failure or breakup or whatever. But some long arc where they're like in love in the beginning and then they go their separate ways and they come back together and everything's fucking great. I don't know, man. I feel like that's a little too easy. And I feel like Rockstar's been pushing the writing for a long time to make more difficult decisions, whether it's Nico and Roman and Kate and that whole dynamic. They kind of dropped the ball with that a little bit with the ABC ending of GTA 5, because neither of A or B really feels earned or like it makes a lot of sense. So if you want to have a human relationship and you want to experiment writing-wise with this romantic dynamic that you've never attempted before, put them through it. And by the end, I'd love to be rooting for somebody to die or them to split up, but I don't want them to just like hold hands and walk off into the sunset at the end of this game. I think that would be like very Hollywood and boring, and I think it would be very non-Rockstar. So that's my long-winded answer.
Unless there's like a planned GTA 6.5 story that we don't know about, you know.
If there's a DLC, that's different, but I still think you have to wrap this story up really well, because this is the thing. This is, you know, the story.
Do we think Jason and Lucia are both going to be alive? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Dan.
I was going to say, just for the ending of this game, because obviously that's where the story wraps up, do you think it could diminish the punch of the story you would like to see if we get another multiple route ending? Would you like to see a linear end, or do you like the idea of choosing between them getting back together, or the split up, or one of them dying?
What I said on GTA 6 o'clock in the 100th episode when they asked me this question was the same thing I feel now. And I got a lot of comments of people were like, I hate this. So strap in, you may hate this. I love we've talked about a relationship bar, right? Like an honor bar. A lot of people have rumored like there's going to be this relationship of like, oh, you do something that gets you together and it goes this way. And if you do something bad, like go to the strip club or whatever. Who says she's not cool with that, by the way? It goes in this direction. I think what would be way more interesting is an invisible relationship bar that you affect through choices that you make throughout the game. And that results in it going one way or the other at the end. And you can't go back one save file and just see the other ending. That's my big complaint about GTA 5. You just go back one save file, you pick A, you get to play it. You pick B, you get to play it. C, you get to play it. No, make me replay the bulk of the game differently and make lots of different choices that I don't even know if it's gonna work. And that either leads to like one of them dying or the other. I'd love to see a dynamic ending that works with what I just said about maybe a toxic relationship where they're actually not good for each other and we don't think they should be together. But there's a lot of ways to end that. They could just break up and live. One of them could kill the other. One of them could die because of choices of the other that weren't intentional. There's a bunch of ways it could end, but I love the idea of a dynamic ending that forces me to replay the game, making different choices, and I'm not really sure what to do. It would take months, maybe a year, who knows how long, for YouTubers like us to make the video that's like, this is how you keep Lucia alive. Like, I just think that's way more interesting. A lot of people hate that because they're like, dude, I don't want to replay the game. I'm like, you think you're not going to have 20 years before GTA 7? You're going to have time.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
No, that sounds
Replay
great
the
to me.
game.
I don't get why people wouldn't like that. I actually think the idea of an invisible relationship bar is way better than the visual one. Like, I would like.
Yes.
I've played games with a visual like good to evil bar, and it can be nice to see exactly where you're going, but I think it being ambiguous makes it way more interesting. You have to think a lot more about what your choices could actually affect.
And you can see things happen in the story that kind of give you an idea of where you're headed.
Exactly.
But it's not linear on a bar, and you're like, oh, I'm 15% honorable, I'm 30% dishonorable.
Yeah.
Boring.
I agree completely.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right, Snarko, do you think GTA 6 will look drastically different from what we saw in trailer 2 compared to trailer 1 in the coming trailers, or do you think it can't possibly look better than the way it is now? So I think they're talking about just like straight up the look of the game, not necessarily like new content, but quality. I think there was a slight upgrade from trailer 1 to trailer 2. So do we think it's going to continue trending in that direction, or do you think trailer 2 is pretty much how the game's going to look?
Yeah, I mean, I think trailer 1 and trailer 2 is pretty night and day. You could notice some pretty distinct differences, now trailer 2 to 3 or trailer 2 to the game, I really don't think it'll be much different. It looks pretty great cinematically. I think, cinematics makes it look a little better. So let's dumb that down. By the time the game comes out, it'll just be balanced like trailer 2, like the end result will be like trailer 2, like actual game, I feel like.
Yeah. Do you think that's a result
Not
of
too
like the difference between 1 and 2? Is that just them polishing, or is that them like,
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
I think from trailer 2 onward was all polishing, like bugs and making sure that you're actually running a frame rate that can sustain, you know what I'm saying? But you guys could say trailer 1 and trailer 2, they definitely made some enhancements to the visuals,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
Even with their own in-game capture system, which I know was discussed, I think that'll maybe be pretty cool, whatever tools that guy was working on. So
Yeah.
that'd help with movies and whatever else people are making.
Yeah. And Will, with by the way, that was Generic Jerry that asked that question. Shout out Generic Jerry. This one is another one from T-Bert. I tried to vary it up and give everybody an opportunity for a good question, but I couldn't pass this up. T-Bert had 2 really good questions. So this one's for Will. With the Take-Two earnings call saying that fiscal 2027 is going to redefine the industry and the earnings projections for the futures of Take-Two, it seems there are very large plans in play. As pure speculation, what do you think that could look like?
Yeah, so we touched on that, a little bit earlier, but it was something I meant to actually interject and say. I would like to see something sort of like Microsoft Flight Sim. They have like a marketplace that's set up that's pretty well, and they've been able to go through and get like verified studios, verified creators that have been able to make stuff that you can just download. Like you pay for, you download. There's even free ones, and they just get put into the game. I think something like that could kind of solve some of that like moderation as far as, user generated content and how it could make it through without being wild and insane. So I think that alone could do it. But honestly, even like for the financials, just next gen shark cards, next gen GTA Plus, will kind of exceed those earning projections too.
Yeah.
The battle pass that will come probably.
Yep. Do we think that is GTA Plus, is that going to go up? I feel like I've been saying for a while now, I think the GTA Plus subscription is probably going to be the gatekeep between you and UGC content. I feel like if you want UGC content, you're probably going to have GTA Plus. Do you think that's the case, or do you think they're going to open it up for everybody? Or, do they, if they lock it behind UGC, does the price of UGC go from $8 to like say $14.99 or something like that? Because they could justify that.
I think there could be tiers of the GTA Plus. Like there could be one tier that gets you the stuff we get in the game now, where you get like the free car from a DLC a week early and the extra discounts, extra money, and then maybe another tier for the UGC content, or the other way around. I think that I wouldn't be shocked they did tiered GTA Plus subscriptions for sure.
Genuinely,
Yeah.
I would pay 14 right now just to be able to have cross-platform GTA Plus. When I booted up my PlayStation 5 Pro and I noticed that I didn't have GTA Plus on there and I had to pay for it again, that was kind of a shock. I was like, oh gosh, okay.
I didn't even know it
So,
worked that way.
yeah, it's just based on the console that you purchased it on.
That's
I really thought it
weird.
would have been
ridiculous.
based on your social.
I've never
club
bought it,
account.
so I would
Or
not know.
social
That's
club.
crazy.
Yeah, I don't have GTA Plus either, so
I've
And,
had it for a long time, but I just because I like again I don't play a lot of different games. So they were like, this game that we've always given you free DLCs. If you want some extra stuff, it's a few bucks a month. I was like, I'm fine with that. But I've only ever been on Xbox, so I didn't know it didn't transfer. That should go away immediately.
It should be
Yeah.
per account, not per console.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, it's
Well, and
almost
I
set
think-
up for 6 though, because it just came out how many years ago, right? Pretty recent, like a 3.
Yeah, it's like 2 or 3 years
ago.
max, maybe.
Yeah, I mean we're
Yeah.
end of life of GTA 5, so I think that's a setup for 6. You know, they're gonna do something.
well, with all the
bigger
ways
with it.
they're monetizing 6, I mean, they could
Yeah.
let up on that. You know what I mean? Like they don't need to. Rockstar generally is never going to miss an opportunity to make a buck on its players, but they generally do so with a decent amount of tact. They're not nearly as greedy as some of these other developers out there. But
No.
you know, if they do increase the price of GTA Plus, as long as they give us more content and not just do it for the sake of doing it, then I would.
They won't do it right away.
I'd recommend them to do it right
No.
now. Like if they're planning to do it into 6, as soon as that day one, they
Yep.
should have their set price for many years because YouTube Premium just went up like $3 a month or something. So
I saw
Yeah,
you know,
so
let's
annoying.
make sure we're not doing this the first year in. Let's do it before the game's
And I
out.
think it should carry over as well. GTA Plus, if you buy GTA Plus now, it should carry over to GTA 6. I think it should be across games. Whether they'll do that or not, who knows? One other question I did have. So we've obviously had free DLC for 13 years, which has been amazing. But we never got story DLC in GTA 5. If we do get one, do you think that will be a paid DLC? Because I think it probably would be.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
it's inherently different from the online stuff.
Yeah, I think so too. Are we talking like just an expansion on the story, or are we talking like the Ballad of Gay Tony, the Lost and Damned? Like what at what
I'm talking
scale
like
are
that
we talking?
level.
Yeah.
I'm talking like Balligate. I'm talking like Dragonborn DLC to Skyrim, where you have like
Yeah.
fully new like side story, full maybe new map area. Maybe we go to Las Vegas, Los Venturas. Maybe we go back to Liberty City, Cuba, something. New area, new story, new things in the story mode that can be put into online later if you buy it. But specifically for the base game, I think that like almost definitely will be a paid thing. I would assume.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would say 20 to
I
30
recommend
bucks
they
for
make
that
it
easy.
paid. I recommend they make
Yeah.
it paid because I don't want it to end up like Mansions DLC did. All the houses, I mean, I think a single person changed every single house. You know, they look so similar. Hopefully, it doesn't end up like that. So if it costs money, then do it. I don't know. You know,
Well, and
Don't make
if
it.
story DLC does not pay you back, right? The DLC
No.
for online encourages you to go online, engagement, and possible shark cards. But you're not going to play a story DLC like as Cal go into Las Venturas and then also buy a shark card for him in that game. Like it's going to be a set experience, I would think. So I think you have to charge up front for that.
Yeah. Well, here's a good question for you guys. Do you think there's any possibility that with DLC comes map expansion?
Yes.
Yes.
And do
Yes.
you think they would gatekeep the map expansion
Sav,
behind the? Yeah.
I think something's wrong with the audio.
No,
It's
don't
It's just
listen to
saying
him.
there's a-
Don't listen to him.
Are they trolling?
It's the
Are they
same
trolling?
guy.
Troll.
Oh no!
No,
Yeah.
no,
No.
They're
No.
trolling.
Yeah. Don't. So Caden, if their name is Blue, don't listen to them. Besides, let's see, is
Oh, great,
is
the
Chili in
moderators,
here?
Let's not listen to the mod.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, listen to
they're
the mods.
they're
All
they're my
right.
biggest trolls. Yeah, if Chili is saying it or T Burton is saying, you can listen to them. But Caden, Hooligan, Angry Cat, no. But yeah,
What do we gotta do? We gotta
Maybe
change
redraft
something.
those folks. I'm not telling you what to do, but
no, they're good guys. They're actually really good mods. They just like messing with me. It's an inside joke, so don't listen. Anyway,
Yeah, I got the same thing. I just wanted to check.
Yeah. But my thought was like, if we get map expansions with DLC, do we still think they would make people pay for that additional like area as well, or would that give them more of a reason to charge for it or less of a reason to charge for it? In other words, would they gate off, you know, a certain explorable area that really adds a significant, you know, explorable area to the game, you know, and lock that behind paid content?
Personally, I think that's where it gets a little tricky. And I think back to like OG Call of Duty when they did like the season passes, it messed with the matchmaking like crazy when they did that.
Yeah.
That's the immediate thing that popped up for me.
Yeah, that was my concern as well. It's like, and I feel like there would be more than
In
enough
online, no.
players, right? Yeah, in online. So like, maybe if online is a separate paid experience, maybe if you have a GTA Plus subscription, you automatically get access. Or I don't know how they do
That's
it
what I would
exactly, but
think.
they could separate, you know, the online from the story mode content. The story mode DLC could come with that extra area on the map as like its own thing, but you also have the online experience that has, you know, maybe it's not quite as much, or maybe it's included in something, or, you know, just so everybody's kind of experiencing the same thing.
If it's in
I would argue-
online, they won't do an extra surcharge for DLCs added to online. I really don't think so, because I think that, like I said, the ecosystem of online, the way that it works and the way it makes them money is about engagement, and it's about players getting in, shark cards, bringing the numbers up. If they add Liberty City back into the game for a story DLC where like Lucia goes to Liberty City, they're going to charge you for that because there's no way to monetize that on the back end. Then, after they do that, they'll later add Liberty City to online for free later. After they've made a bunch of money off the Lucia DLC. They'll add it into online because they'll want to bring players back to online who have been like, I got bored.
By the way, chat, allegedly. We don't know if this
Yeah, of course. I don't know. These are all theories. We don't work there.
Yeah. He's getting into it.
No, I was going to say that for the story DLC, let's say it is Lucia going to Liberty City. You are paying for the map expansion, but you're more so paying for the story experience, because we're going to get the map for free later. You're paying for that extra story. The people who want the story will pay for it. The people who don't care for that as much will just wait for it to come out a year later in online, you know?
Yeah, and something I keep bringing up in my live streams and my videos, and I brought it up on other roundtables, and I always like to get fresh takes. And Dan, I haven't asked you this, or I don't think Snarko, definitely not VPA, but, well, on a roundtable anyway. But as far as like, you know, we know going back to 2022, the original plan was Project Americas, and they were talking about, you know, large swaths of North and South America and it being a larger area. And when they had to scale that back, the plan then shifted to, okay, well, we'll expand the map post-launch. So if we're talking about map expansions, even if DLC is not included in it, like, what is your opinion? And I'll get yours and Will's. We'll just go across. What do you guys think about the idea of it not being an island per se, in the traditional sense of the word, not necessarily in the world of Grand Theft Auto, but not being an island, but being connected to a landmass that they found a way to sort of gate off using some kind of in-game lore, like, you know, maybe there's some military weapons testing going on, you can't go into that area, or, you know, they could come up with a reason, right? There's millions of them out there. But what if it was landlocked, and then as time went on, they could then shift the edge of the map and say, okay, well, this area is now being cleared up. You guys can now venture into it and explore, you know, what was here. What do you think that's possible, or am I just like living in pipe dream world?
I think you're right. I think it'd be dumb if they didn't do that, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I think the
Yeah,
alternative.
there's a million ways to do it.
Well,
Yeah.
and the
Only if
alternative
you use
argument
visuals.
would be to just like drop another island somewhere next to Leonida and say, okay, well, this is Gloriana, or, you know, whatever. You can travel there by ferry or by bridge or whatever, you know, but like, I don't know. I personally would rather, instead of having, you know, a bunch of different islands that you can kind of travel to, I would rather have it sort of connected to a landmass that then they move the line back and say, okay, here's the area that you couldn't get to earlier.
Like Red Dead Redemption. They've already done it twice and it works just fine. You put a river that you can't cross easily, and then there's a thing over there you can't quite get to. Easy. A hurricane, like you said, a base. There's so many ways to do that. And I think they want to do that ideally.
Yeah. Yeah. And,
Am I the
you
only
know,
one that wants it to be an island? I feel like I am. Because, like, you know,
I'm
if I
sick of
see
the
land,
islands.
if I see land, I want to fly there. You know, how are they going to, you know,
Like that's
Within the
the fun
gameplay.
part of it, is that you expect it, so you're waiting for it, and you're going to be so excited when you can finally go there. I think
Yeah.
if like Rockstar probably didn't expect GTA 5 to last this long, they will definitely expect GTA 6 to last this long, if not longer. I wouldn't be shocked if they're planning for 20 years down the line.
Mhm.
So I think they can look to MMOs for like inspiration. World of Warcraft, RuneScape, Elder Scrolls Online, Final Fantasy do this perfectly with like map expansions. With Elder Scrolls Online, you have the world of Tamriel, the whole entire continent. You have Skyrim, you have Cyrodiil, which is where Oblivion takes place. In Elder Scrolls Online, when it released, you could only go to 3 regions. You could go to part of Morrowind, part of High Rock and Hammerfell, and part of the Somerset Isles. But then over the years, like I think one big map expansion a year, you slowly fill up the map, and now you can go to like 80% of the entire continent or something like that. Do the same thing in GTA 6. Give us Leonida, have Gloriana be Georgia or whatever, just there past the border. You can't go there for whatever reason. They'll have to figure out something. And then slowly the map expands over time. And then 10 years down the line, we have a much bigger area we can explore. Doing it like, I think that'd just be perfect. Like there's no
Yeah.
reason not to do it. If they're planning for a 20-year life cycle of the game,
Right.
do
We're
it.
gonna need a lot of content.
Yeah.
Shoot the
No.
planes down. That's the other big argument
Yeah.
that people always say, like, oh, it worked in. I even saw Yangi say this in chat, and I've heard it many times. It worked in Red Dead because you can't fly. Okay, first of all, there's the balloon, so you can fly a little bit in that game. Second of all, shoot the planes down, have them run out of fuel. I mean, there's your nav starts shaking and you go down. There's ways to get around that.
Yeah. Well,
Just
and
make it a
Leslie
to
the edge of the
space,
map.
like easy.
Leslie
What
Benzie
happens
said a
if I'm
long time
flying
ago.
low?
If you're
What
flying
if I'm
low,
flying low and the
Well,
plane
just be
doesn't
like a-
crash and then I get out? Do I just
Just
die?
be
'cause I'm
burial, just
tired?
blow up.
well, so here's a
Blow up.
scenario for that, because I've had people ask me this question when I bring this up, and there's like, okay, well, what about like if you're flying a plane over land? Like, well, you're still forced down. Like if you fly too far out over the ocean in GTA 5, it forces you down, right? It just forces you down over water. There's no big difference. Like if it forces you down over land, instead of getting eaten by a shark, you get eaten by an alligator because you're in a swampy area. You know what I mean? Like say it'd be really easy to do that. Or like, maybe there's a brush fire going on over there and you land in the fire and get burnt up or something. I don't know. There's a million different ways to solve that problem creatively.
Yeah, or there's
but-
like border control that takes you back, arrests you, and puts you back over the border. There's
Yeah, your
so many
screen
ways
goes
to do
black
it.
for a second, and then you like it fades back in, and you're standing on the bridge, and they're uncuffing you. You know what I mean? Like, there's a million different ways that you could solve that problem. But Leslie Benzie's a while back in an interview brought up that the original plan was to create this interconnected world with all of their games. And he did mention in that same conversation that it would be really interesting nowadays to go back to a place like Vice City. Now this was a few years back before he left Rockstar. But like to me, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but like GTA 6 could be the groundwork for that eventual interconnected map. They certainly have the technology, the know-how, and the ability to do it. And now more than ever, we're moving away from these, one-time buy a game. It's becoming this games as a service where, you get on and you play the game, you buy the DLC, you spend your money on it, and you just keep playing it for years and years and years. And if they've built it in a way from the ground up that's sustainable for 10, 15, 20 years, like you were saying, Dan, like you could easily start incorporating that stuff down the road in large chunks and drops until 10 years from now, we've got Vice City here, you've got Liberty City here, you've got San Fierro here, and you've got, maybe they could do like a New Orleans spinoff over here, and then, Los Santos, they could easily do that,
Well, with that, do you think, because this is something I've thought about a lot, if we do have that sort of idea of 20 years, 30 years of just adding these cities old and new to the map, to the game, is there a chance that GTA 6 is the final GTA game?
Yes.
I don't know about
Oh.
final, but I will say that it would not surprise me at all if we don't get another GTA game until 2040 something.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, for our lifetime, we'll be like 50 years old.
yeah.
I really believe it's the last of this universe, kind of like they did with the first 3. I really think of these 3 games like a trilogy of sorts. I think this, again, to your point, I don't know. I'm just wearing the shirt they sell, okay? I don't actually know this, but I am inclined to believe, based on the timeline and the way they've structured things in the past, that I think this is the last of the HD universe. And if they do a GTA 7 way down the line, I think they'll just do something different.
I think it could, honestly, I think it could be like VR, augmented reality,
Yeah.
genuinely. If we go 30 years in the future, why can't we get Sword Art Online, GTA Online, you know?
Yeah.
Or Ready Player One, whatever you want to call it.
Well, that's the direction that all this is moving, is games as a service. And, you know, it just, to me, it makes the most sense. Like, it seems to me that that's what they're doing. Roblox is a hub for new games. Fortnite Creative is a hub for new games. Minecraft is a hub for new gaming experiences. Like, that seems to be the model that Rockstar is moving towards. And, you know, I love the single player experiences. You could still do those with that model. You would just drop it as DLC, like the Ballad of Gay Tony and the Lost and Damned and all that stuff. That way you satisfy the people that are looking for the single player experiences, and you satisfy the long desired, you know, multi-map expansion that we've been wanting for years and years and years. And I think now's a good time to do it. Like, if they were going to do it, now's a good time to do it. I don't know if I have a better argument than that, but
so what else you got, Sav?
Well, we've got let's see. I did that last T. Burton question. Well, I guess we could go into you guys want to take some questions from chat for a couple minutes, and then we can close it out?
Yeah, I did just say Yangi Young says he hates the idea of GTA Online being a hub like Roblox or Minecraft or Fortnite. I do somewhat agree. I don't want it to be the exact same thing. I don't want to see steal your brain rot in GTA 6. Like, I don't want that level of thing. I don't want to log onto GTA and see a million community created things. I want them to be accessible, but I think the pure online experience should be at the forefront of what people are playing for the most part. And then if you want to access those other things, maybe you use another launcher. Maybe you have to go to somewhere in game to experience those things. But I think it should still say GTA Online forefront, side thing. You can do this other stuff if you want.
Don't flood it with a bunch of crap. Yeah,
I agree. Okay, so let's take a look at the comments and see if we got some good questions in here, and then we'll go ahead and close it out here in a few minutes. I appreciate you guys hanging with me. Let's see. If anybody sees one, let me know. Sees a good one, let me know. Lady Joker Asylum said, do a Bermuda Triangle situation and spawn you somewhere completely different. Like, that could be interesting. Actually, Bermuda Triangle is a good, an interesting topic. You know, that would imply that we have like, you know, a version of the Bahamas and a version of Bermuda, because you would need those three things in junction.
I mean,
with
good DLC
Florida.
topic, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, and also, you know, there's a lot of, it would be great opportunity for Easter eggs. I'm really excited about, not to pun intended here, but like the depth of like the ocean mechanics. You know, like the different things that you can do, and like, you know, finding
don't get me started.
Pirate ships and like, you know, buried treasure, and you know, like there's so many opportunities for stuff like that, and I'm really excited.
Yeah,
especially
I made a video probably 3 years ago now, talking about the 5 things I wanted most in GTA 6. I think number 4 or 3 on that list was just more ocean stuff, because Los Santos is an island, and apart from, I think, the buried treasure caches, there is absolutely no reason to ever go in the ocean. It is just completely dead.
Yeah.
For the most part. So having, like you said, pirate ships out there, oil rigs you can go and steal from, maybe, you know, boats that are more interesting, customizable, more races out there. I know there are boat races in GTA Online and 5, but they're kind of shit. I love them to use the ocean more, especially Florida, Leonida. If they add the Bahamas and the other Mediterranean islands, exactly, it's perfect for it.
Yeah. In cruise ships too, you know, those are popular down in South Florida. You know, just be able to jump on one, go to an island, or like steal stuff off of a cruise liner. You know, that'd be pretty cool.
And it depends on the scale of the keys, because the real life Florida keys go far. Like Key West is like 3 hours from Miami. Like it's really, really far. So like that alone, just, you know, how many of the key islands were there? Like, I think there's like 5 in real life. How much of that do we end up actually seeing and using? The 7 Mile Bridge and all that stuff that's down there, is that part of it? That could give you a completely different experience where, if you're in Key West, you cannot see mainland Florida.
Yeah, well, and how many different islands we'll have in general? Like, are we getting like a Guarma type, you know, midway through the story?
Like hundreds,
know? Yeah, like heading off somewhere, or maybe there's several of those types of situations, you know, or maybe there's a trip to South America.
That's the cheapest DLC to make.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
It's like it's already
just give you a reason to use boats, because there's no use for boats in online or in 5. Like there's so many that add to the game. Even stuff like the Blazer Aqua, like the quad bike that turns into a boat, or the Toreador. Like they're cool vehicles, but you never use the aquatic version of them apart from in like a mission or two. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, there'll be more purpose to serve for boats for sure. And like I saw, did you guys see the billboard with the the old lady on the scooter in the one screenshot, with the lizard in the background? Billboard says something about a new form of product delivery. So being able to use boats to deliver, similar to some of those stuff in GTA Online, I think has some context stuff, but you'll be using boats a lot more for your cargo and for everything because it's less traffic and it's easier, it's more fun, So I think people will have to use boats and it'll be more fun. So
yeah, especially if they've improved the the boat on the ocean mechanics. I don't know about you guys, but I just get really annoyed driving a boat in GTA 5. It's like, whoa,
you're like
it's just so annoying.
Footers out there. Yeah.
Yeah, you get seasick.
Like, what about give us the option to have a houseboat? Having a houseboat, you can move around your apartment to wherever you want on the map. That'd be cool.
That's a good idea.
Now we're talking.
Hey, I'll live on a yacht. I don't care. I don't need a house.
Yeah, improve the yachts, more diversity in yacht action.
Yacht customization, custom yachts ordering online. Just saying.
You can actually drive it.
Yeah, that could be awesome. Midnight Vice, thanks for the $4.99. Says W stream. Let me. If you guys are enjoying
that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, I was gonna say I do have a point about the boats part specifically. It seems like there's like 30 to 40 good ones that is a good start, but hopefully they keep adding and don't drop the ball on it because it'd really suck if they stop that. Maybe there's plenty of different types of boats. I feel like they can keep adding more. Not just like drop whatever we've seen so far.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we will get more. In DLC or online expansions. They've given us a ton of vehicles. In online.
And Cyberboy will tell us about every damn one of them.
Oh yeah. If you guys want to know about boats in GTA, you should go watch Cyberboy's video. He's got that man loves him some boats. Okay, so let's take a quick second here, and I want you guys to kind of tell everybody what you got going on your channels. So I'll go from left to right on my screen, starting off with Mr. Bav himself.
I don't really know what I'm doing at the moment. I'm just existing. There's nothing to talk about. So that's why we're here on this roundtable. There kind of is something to talk about, which we did. But I don't know. I'm just hanging out. I do have a video that I am working on. It should be out in the next few days, going over the entire history of Rockstar games. But that's pretty much about it.
I love those videos. I could sit there and watch those back to back. All right, Snarko, what about you?
Just doing some more stuff with GTA Online, having fun with that. Me and Buck just did a bingo video the other day, so that's going up Tuesday, so that'll be fun. You'll have to see who won that, but you could probably already guess, knowing Buck's skills there. We had fun with that. Just trying to meet as many people as I can. There's a lot of cool people in the GTA creator space, so love meeting everybody and having fun with that.
Yeah, and I'd love to get in on some more GTA Online stuff. So we'll have to hit up Buck. Dan?
Recently I've just been streaming a lot. I was invited to the GTA Drops event that Rockstar have on. So if you want like a $3 million in an outfit, come watch my stream. I'll probably be streaming later today, like in a few hours. So like me down on Twitch. Apart from that, content's pretty dry, if I'm going to be real. Trying to get out a few more videos before I head to the World Cup, going to America for a little bit. And then when I come back, planning to start up a new sort of Rags to Riches series with a different spin on it. Just a little thing to keep me going until GTA 6. Trying to get the reps back in for making more consistent content, because I'm going from like once every 2 weeks at the moment to probably daily for GTA 6. So I need to build back up that ability to actually upload. Really just surviving until then, to be honest. We all play the game. It's been a bit dry since the mansion deals. It's been dry for a while. So I'm just trying to survive through it, really.
Yeah, well, it's dry in the world of GTA 6 news too. So those of us that are heavily focused on GTA 6 coverage, it's been really dry on that too. So that's why I'm actually spending more time playing GTA Online. But maybe we could, when you get back from the World Cup, maybe we could all get together and do some stuff in online. Are you playing on PC or are you mainly
absolutely. I can play on PC. I do play PlayStation mostly, but I can do both.
Okay.
I've also been meeting a lot more creators this year. Did the Jeopardy video with TGG, Buck, and some other guys as well. Obviously, this has been awesome. So I mean, the more stuff we can all do together leading up to the game would be fantastic.
I agree. And I'll actually remind me, once we get through this little segment, I want to tell you guys about something. All right, VPA. Or Rob, sorry. I told you I was going to do it at least once.
Hey, you made it almost the whole way. No, it's totally fine. I had to tell him, I was like, I'm actually one of the few people who uses my real name. So you can call me Rob. It's totally fine. Yeah, so my biggest problem on YouTube is that I have too many different ideas and pieces of content going. If I made the same kind of stuff over and over again, I'd probably be doing better. But I get a little bored with that. So here's a few things going on. Obviously, the main pillar of Vinyl Public Access is the radio station that I am still making content for. Did holiday specials for that. Mrs. Sav participating in that was really fun. There is a third full day. I do them kind of one day at a 48-minute day at a time. So day 1 and 2 are out now, but the third day is on its way. I also went to Miami and shot a boatload, so to speak, of content and went all the way around the Keys and Wynwood and 11 and all these different places. I'm putting those into a few different videos. Also because I'm a TV producer and I've done film and television and stuff, I make like list videos for the movies that inspired the games. And then live stream. I'm expanding my live stream schedule starting next week. So watch my channel for the new schedule, which occasionally includes my wife playing GTA Online. She's never played a GTA game before and started playing on New Year's of this year. So she started a GTA Online character, and man, watching her try to figure that out is far more entertaining than watching me do the Diamond Casino heist again.
I've been doing the same thing. I'm trying to do the Criminal Mastermind Challenge with a friend who has never touched a game until like last month, and it is entertaining as all hell.
People in the chat particularly like watching her because I've heard people say things like, I mean, she's lovely to look at, but people have said like, this reminded me why I like this game. Like I've gotten so tired of it, but watching someone new try to play it, which Sav, you jumping into online, I'm sure it's a similar thing. It's like, oh, right. There's this even after all this time.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's
what
fun.
we got going on.
It's been fun to kind of experience the online stuff. And yeah, it's not like I'd never played the online. I played a good bit of it right when it first came out, and I did the heist and stuff like that. But I just haven't like sat down and played it for a long time. So it's nice to get back into it. But Will, what about you, buddy? Other than the daily updates and news drops, what you got going on?
Yeah, so the goal is always daily uploads, usually centered around GTA 6. But I try to make content for like each format. So daily long form, try to get some shorts in there as well. And then I always like to have daily community posts where I'll have like news graphics, just so it makes it easy that people can get news across whatever format that they prefer. And then live streams starting soon, as soon as I commit to a schedule.
Yeah. Well,
this guy's got the volume, man. Can't touch Will Mac Daddy's volume.
Yeah, he really is. Like if you guys want like new and interesting stories every single day as it relates to Rockstar, Take-Two, or GTA, like you need to be following Will Mac Daddy. He's constantly posting stuff. So that's great. Which actually brings me to my next point. So I don't know how many of you guys have seen my new website, 6 Hub, but it's like a one-stop shop for all GTA 6 stuff. Anything you could possibly want to know about GTA 6 is all on the website. We've got patents, we've got deep dive, videos, we've got news articles, Reddit posts, all the information, like the mapping project, all that's there. What we're working on adding right now is a content creator page. So anybody that is making GTA 6 content or is planning on making GTA 6 content, I'm trying to get all of those folks on that content creator page. That way, as somebody goes to the website wanting to learn information about GTA 6, they can stumble onto potentially their new favorite content creator. It'll kind of help, a lot of people that watch my videos, watch Bav's videos, watch, VPA's videos, Starco, whatever, we all kind of share the same sort of crowd. So I thought it'd be good for everybody to, have like a landing spot somewhere. So if you guys are interested, I'd love to have you guys on the website, but we can talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, I mean, that's really, yeah, of course. That's really all I've got. I appreciate you guys coming on and doing the roundtable. It was fun.
Yeah, thanks to the chat. They came out and supported tonight.
It was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun doing it live. I think we'll probably do it live from here on out, unless whoever I have on has a strong objection to that. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was nice.
Thanks for having
maybe, Yeah, next time, because we kind of planned it to be recorded, and then I ended up deciding to do it live at the last minute, so it kind of changed up the format a little bit. That's why we were a little all over the place. So some of you didn't get all the questions I had planned anyway, but that's all right. So yeah, that's a wrap, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching in the chat. Well, we'll do another one of these here soon. We'll start working on getting the next group together. Maybe it'll be before trailer 3, maybe after. I don't know. We'll see. But either way, I plan on doing a lot more content with some of these guys. So thank you guys so much for hanging out, watching in the chat. I hope everybody has a good rest of your night, and we'll see you on the next one.